Okay. I think Michael's home. Yes, he is home. He was late. How dare he? Actually, he won't even be on stream on Friday. His mother's coming to visit, so he'll probably be busy entertaining her. But he told me I still had to stream for some reason. No clue. I have no idea what she's flying. Oh, forgot to post the thing. Okay. My button. There's my button. Hello. Oh, wait, the camera's kind of... Wait, does it? I'm like turning it sideways and it just stays straight. Like the camera's kind of goofed like that. And it was just like, nah, I know what's up. Literally. Anyway. Michael should be down here a little bit. He's probably eating pizza. Is the music extra loud? Yes, it is. There we go. Yeah, I just saw your message. I had my headset turned all the way down. I'm like, yeah, that sounded loud. That sounds better. Unless it's still loud, but let me know. Wait, what were we doing last time? I think we were working on this one. Yeah, we were working on this one. Trying to fill it in. We're already like... Let's say we're fourth done with the video. Because that's going to take a while. I still got to plan that. Hello, Byton. So what do we have to do here? Might have to adjust the mount. I'm actually doing it right now. I don't really like one part of this here. When he does the M. Oh, then I hit a button. It's only one frame closed. I think I needed one extra frame closed. I can't do that. Okay, we're just gonna do it like this and see if that works. Oh yeah, that's better. Well, hello.
Hello.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I thought you said that it upset your stomach before.
It does, but this one was cold. So it wins. Hello, Kite. Hello, Matt. Hello, Biden. Hello, nice ski.
We're working on Trixie. Kinda, sorta.
I'm assuming that question was directed towards me, Nancy?
Oh no, I say Michael's not gonna be here on Friday.
Oh yeah, I will not be here Friday or the weekend. Maybe Sunday.
What time does she leave?
I have no idea. Sunday.
Oh, okay. Like, I don't know, whenever she decides to leave.
No, I think she's flying Sun Country. So, strangely enough, that's actually a positive right now. I was listening to that whole thing on the radio, and apparently it's their schedules, their cruise schedules that are all messed up. So nobody knows who's supposed to be flying which plane.
I like that through that whole situation. Apparently, one of the airlines was unaffected because their system was so old, which at that point is kind of beneficial.
Southwest wasn't affected this time. Last time something like this happened, they were the ones who had it all get messed up. But I don't know. Delta must have just been in this weird technological sweet spot that just had everything go to crap. Everybody else has figured their shit out. Ghost fact.
Oh, I don't have that running. Oh, let me fix that.
I gotta see the Fluttershy before I can ghost facts.
Well, Delta probably had a fancier system, so it works great when it's running, but like most things with technology, they only work great as long as they're running. If they're not running, you literally have no backup normally. Okay, there you go. See Big Derp.
Big Derp. Yeah, Big Derp. This Fluttershy. She got ghosts. Alright, your ghost fact. Here's your ghost fact. The problem with ghosts, you see, is that they really like grapes. Yeah. And that's where raisins come from, is ghosts suck all the essence, the good grape ghosts out of the grapes to eat the ghosts inside the grapes, because grapes have ghosts. And that when they do that, they shrivel up. And that's where raisins come from. So yeah, so the next time you're eating a box of raisins, think ghost. They made those. And that's your ghost fact. Yeah. Prunes too. Just as a side note, it's kind of two ghost facts in one. Why old people love prunes. It makes them feel closer to the end.
What?
Yeah, it's all full circle, man. Hello, Ninja Bacon. Yeah, it's their whole crew system that's messed up. They don't know. Like the thing that tells people to come to work and fly this plane or be on this plane to serve soda pop. That system's all messed up. So I think right now they're only getting flights out if somebody like straight up calls people and tells them which flight they're supposed to be on.
Yeah, because they don't have the staff to manage that many people. That's the item is. It's like when COVID hit, that was one of the problems of everything was built to be so tight on everything, because it was when everything's fine, you can build really, really tiny margins for error. But then when something goes wrong, the whole thing tumbles. And
yeah,
the amount of redundancy we have in this world is lacking so significantly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a while till Delta fixes their crap. So I'm very happy my mother is not flying Delta.
Well, I don't know why. Being able to manually do all the computers, I would think that would take a while, and then getting them all synced back up and running. Mm-hmm. Sure. And not everybody is, or like, there was some computers that they have BitLocker. This is on the Blanchard thing. They'd have BitLocker, but the BitLocker keys were stored on a computer. So
they couldn't get them.
So how do you get the BitLocker keys without getting access to that computer?
Yeah.
So that's really bad. Yeah, there's going to be some lawsuits.
Apparently the CEO of Delta was responding to the TS or the transportation secretary of transportation because the secretary of transportation was like, you have a responsibility to your customers, and apparently the CEO of Delta is like, do not remind me that I have responsibilities to my customers. I know. So it was very
at this point, Delta's a victim, but if you don't have things set in place,
yeah,
to respond to potential issues like that, it is on you. Yeah. Other places can cause you a problem, but it's on you for not having the redundancies in place.
Basically, Delta's house burnt down, but it's on them that they didn't have insurance for it.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
And it's costing everyone else.
Yeah,
another ghost fact. I just gave you 2 raisins and prunes. There's 2. Jeez. Okay. Another ghost fact. You guys are just like, ghosts can only do so much stuff, guys, in any given period of time.
So now you're just inviting them to max out as many ghost facts as they can.
Well, let's see here now. Facts about ghosts. Ghosts, yeah, ghosts like to live, in storm drains. Yeah, like if they don't have a house to like haunt, they'll just be inside storm drains, hanging out with like clowns and stuff, because that's where clowns are too. That's where they all went. You haven't seen a clown in years, I bet. That's where they went. So yeah. No, if you end up a ghost and you don't have a place to haunt because you rented your whole life, yeah, it's probably gonna be in a storm drain. Just heads up on that.
What happened before there were storm drains?
City sewers.
Wait, so what happened before house ownership? What happened before house ownership?
Just probably haunted, like.
Probably. You're the ghost factor.
A hole in the ground.
A hole in the ground?
Yeah, I'm not a historian.
Wait, so all ghosts went to a hole in the ground?
Huh?
All ghosts went to a hole in the ground?
Yeah, in the hole.
But as soon as we invented like mortgages and house ownership.
Yeah, we basically just built holes.
No, what if you don't have a basement? What if you like live on the sticks?
It's an above ground hole.
An inverse hole?
Yes.
That's just it's a tower.
We built like stuff over it so we can build a hole.
So Trump Tower is Trump's inverse hole.
Yes.
His golden inverse hole.
Yes, that shoots the sky.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's what I meant. Let's actually go forward with this.
I'm not a ghost historian, man. I want ghost history. It's not part of the deal.
Too far forward.
We have ghost facts that are like half the cost of just big derp.
Because Big Derp is invasive. She's so big. And also it was because of 666. I thought that was fun.
It was very funny.
I think that might work. I'm just gonna
Everything
changes. Oh, like, how hard is it to import custom 3D models in SFM?
It's all about know-how. It's once you know how to do it, it's easy.
I would say the actual if you know how to fully build and rig a model, the importing in SFM is probably the easy part. The hardest part would be just getting everything made and created. There are some
that's what importing is.
that, and you have to understand how game engines work compared to just like Blender models, because there's going to be limits on vertices and how many bones and this stuff, because game engines aren't built for super high end limitless rendering capability.
Kind of have to learn how QCs work when it comes to Source. That's the difficult part.
Yeah, QCs are kind of the hardest, but there are tools out there that help build it for you.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad, actually. If it's got a full bone structure, thank you for the follow, Ali. If it's got a full bone structure, like
My bag of chips I made has bones.
another ghost fact.
Another ghost fact. Guys, it's so cheap. My knowledge shouldn't be this cheap.
I mean, I can up it to 66 if you want.
That's less. I know numbers. Another ghost fact. Here's your ghost fact. If you die in the ocean, you can't leave it as a ghost, because it's like a fish. They can't have. You don't want fish ghosts up on land. So, and fish ghosts don't want people down in the water. But so you just basically stay in whichever one you died in. So, you know. Yeah, nobody wants fish ghosts. But try to die on dry land if you want, unless you want to explore the oceans forever, because that kind of sounds fun too.
That'd probably be pretty boring. Anything given infinite time.
Boring. I'm gonna
No, so like I gotta go to this side. This is a QC file, and so QC is what's needed to convert like a raw model out of Blender and putting it into Source. It's the information on what to do with everything. So if it was just a static model, you could have a QC that was like that. Actually, you could probably get away with a QC that's like just 2 lines. If it's just a plain static model, you don't care about some stuff. But a lot of this is information like where's the model located, how many different body groups does it have. So this would be if you're going to have like multiple selectable body groups, most likely, you don't really need that. This is going to be if there's if something is shot, what type of an impact is it? Is it flesh? Is it stone? There's different ones for that. Illumination position is where's the central point in the model that map lighting is going to interact with to light the whole model. Where's the materials located? If you have different texture groups, this is defining all your bones, which it's the name of the I think it's the child bone and the parent bone, or the name of this bone and its parent. So this is saying root, but it doesn't have a parent. Pelvis with a root is his parent. Chest 1 is pelvis's parent. Chest 2. There's things out there that, these are written itself, but I had to convert this model by renaming all of its bones because it was all just bone 1, bone 2, bone 3. Yeah. I had to redo all that by hand.
Well, that's because you're picky.
No, because
it would have still worked. It would have just been confusing.
Yeah, I would have not. I remember like tongue was bone 6 or something because it was so bad. Renaming this was.
I would say Source is a little less user friendly than some newer programs, like.
Well, yeah, because it's like 2004 engine technically, and all of these aren't needed unless you have pre-built-in animations. Which I had to also do those because a different model had animations built in and I wanted to port them to this model. This goes for a while. There's a lot of animations built into it. Yeah, that's all it is at the end there. So, and sometimes you'll have
the QC for my bag of chips.
Like, you never sent me the QC for your bag of chips.
You can just open it in Crowbar.
I'm not gonna go doing that. Here's Derpies.
You're gonna panic him with how big that is. It doesn't.
It's most of it's automated, but you need him to kind of understand what it is. This is Derpy, so this is the eyeball positions and stuff. These are if you have facial flexes. They're not just bones, but like a slider for different things. These are how you identify those. This is where you actually have more complex body groups and complex textures. So, and if you have jiggle bones, you got to identify that there too. So SFM is worth working in when it comes to user friendliness of animation process compared to other 3D programs. I would say yes. It's a lot of other 3D animation software. You're kind of left with this like super complex interface that allows you a ton of control, but usually the more control you give somebody, the harder it is to figure out how to use those controls. SFM is just a nice balance of simplicity with power. So you can't do a lot of things, but in doing so, they make it much easier to do. Rendering times are much quicker because using game engines. But animation wise, it's really not too much different. Like how you do the animation. It's just, everything has to be ported to Source, but even then there's tens of thousands of free models out there to download. It's if you're trying to do custom fully rigged models, as long as you can make it in the other software and it's not too complex in terms of vertices, you can get it in SFM.
Yeah.
We got a fun importing from Blender to SFM so difficult. The QC was the thing I struggled with the most. Yeah. That's
the hard thing with it. Like compared
from
to
scratch.
Unreal, which is just drag and drop.
But Unreal is also decades ahead in terms of like this is just using a modified 2004 engine. But the QC, like anytime I've had to do QC stuff, if you already have a model in Source and you export it using Crowbar, it gives you the QC. It's technically kind of built in because all that data needs to be used. And so what you can really just do is find other models, get their QC, and then just modify it to work for the things you're going to do. Or Blender lets you do a kind of sort of exported QC. You might have to play with some of the settings to fit in what you want. It's not going to know like surface details. I mean, SFM doesn't have physics for shooting bullets or something, so it doesn't matter if it's at the flesh or stone or whatever. But
it's got a learning curve, but it's once you learn it, it's not bad.
No, Source's name implies that you have access to everything, and Source all in all is pretty basic for an engine that is kind of meant for you to play under the hood, and like really a lot of the tools that are there feel like you're kind of really in deep. So like Unreal and stuff are superior a lot nowadays for stuff, but it's again where you're getting into that it has so much power, but in doing so you have too many options and you're just looking at an interface that confuses the hell out of you.
But you can make fluffy horses.
Yeah, you can. But SFM's nice because it's just overall like this whole thing I have in the corner, you don't ignore it. That's nothing you need to worry about. This is nothing you need to worry about. This is if you like advanced stuff. All it really is just having a viewport, moving some lines, and seeing your models. That's about it.
I have no idea what QC stands for.
It's not qual. Well, in general, that would be quality control. I don't know.
It's the file extension.
Yeah, like
Let's see what it stands for. I have no idea. Quake.
Yeah, Quake C programming language.
Oh, there you go. They are so old.
Well, it still uses Havoc, I think, for physics.
This is very base, you know. The Source 1 engine is an old engine, but it still runs pretty good. It just could really use a memory cap increase.
Yeah, the SFM's probably biggest handicap is that it's 32-bit software. So this memory is already running in red because to tune 2.6 gigs of RAM, it's already at 3/4 of its max. If it's like 3.4, it will crash, which is wonderful. There is in a newer version of Source Filmmaker that's released. This one was never released. It still says up here it's a beta, but and that one is 64-bit, has improved lighting, a lot of stuff, but then there's advanced tools that were created with SFM, the first one, that have not popped up there. You can't do material overrides. Facial flexes, if you export a model from the original to or SFM1 to SFM2, don't work. And so it's not something I want to go to because, well, I could play around in it. I'd have to redo everything. And it's just,
I'm very hopeful that with the release of this secret, not so secret new game, we'll get the update Source Filmmaker 2 needs, like desperately, and fixes a lot of the problems people have complained about that keep them from using it. I have to imagine for a team, when they release something like Source 2 or Source Filmmaker, the projects people make with it has to be rather satisfying for them. Because they're seeing the thing they made inspired creativity. And that seems like a rather good feel to me.
Well, they did the whole Saxies and everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Saxies were a bit of... I mean, what was the benefit to Valve? For people to go and download a free software?
Yeah. No, they just enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was, they made an internal software for things and then thought, let's let other people F around with it. And I think it was a good thing.
No, I don't know what the name of the new game they're releasing is. I can't remember. What do you remember?
Valve are slacking. I think I saw the numbers before of how many people work there. And it's like crazy low. Like if you were to do how much money they make to how many people they have employed there.
Yeah. It's because of Steam, though.
They only have like less than 100 people dedicated to games.
I mean, there has to be a lot of people working the assembly lines for the Switch and stuff.
Oh,
not the Switch, the Steam
assembly line.
Well, for like the Index and the Steam.
Do you think they crafted in house? No, that's all outsourced.
Yeah, but that's still employees.
No, it's people. No, okay, not employees.
It's contractors.
It's you're contracting another company out to make parts.
Yeah,
and then they assemble it all. You're the one that did all the designing and the testing and all that stuff. But yeah, you did. They did not build that in house.
But what was the game that's? Okay.
Well, it only has 350 employees.
Still a fair number of people.
Yes, but
for video game,
for designing of hardware, running of the website and the store, all their HR, all of their the game development people. There are game development studios alone that have more than that.
Yeah, but it's not like they're 5 dudes in a garage.
At that, for how big Valve is, that is essentially that. Apparently, it came out because it was used as a negative that they're making all this money and they have all this power, but they're not putting it into growing or doing something, not reinvesting it. Like, where's the money going?
It's a very American mentality.
Well, no, they're doing that because those lawsuits that have went through about anti-competitive nature. But Valve doesn't really. If any, other companies are trying to be anti-competitive because they're trying to grip away some of the power that Valve has, and Valve literally just sits there doing Valve's thing.
Yeah.
They're not trying to like entice people to go and do anything. They're just been doing what they've been doing 20 years, and people just whatever. I guess they'll just keep using them. There are only 40 players in hardware and Valve. Yeah, that's kind of crazy low. I mean, well, for hardware, 40 makes sense if you're just doing a lot of R&D stuff. But I think what it is too is
developing the chips.
I'm thinking that Valve just has some highly capable people, so that the people that are there are worth a lot, and they probably are compensated accordingly. So you can't work at a company like that with the success they've been having, and you know, I've never heard of anybody leaving there frustrated. Well, there could be like people frustrated with the work environment at some point, but like I think the people there like working there.
The new game they're working on that I'm hoping will get an update to the Source 2 engine, which will result to a better version of Source Filmmaker 2, is called Deadlock.
Yeah, whenever that happens.
Yeah.
I just don't. As soon as I heard it's another hero shooter, I'm like, oh my god, there are so many of those.
Yeah, they started it.
Yeah, and then
pretty much, kind of. Counter-Strike's, well, that was
no
really
Counter-Strike is not a hero shooter.
You're right. The Team Fortress 2 is, though. Absolutely, it is. It's the OG.
Yeah, kind of. I wouldn't say it's quite the same as some of the ones that are out there today, but yeah, but it's just there's too many out there. The amount of hero shooter, because like somebody's like, oh, you want to make a popular game, make your hero shooter. But when you only have so many people playing games and others spread amongst so many to play, they're like, why are people playing our game? Because they have 1,000 others to pick from. So your game doesn't have to be good. It can't even be great. It has to be amazing to get people to stay on it. And then most of these games, even if they're good, they just jam it full of monetization options.
Yeah.
Like Call of Duty is like, oh, we're going to charge you $70 for the game, and then half the stuff in the game you're going to have pay for.
Yeah.
It's like
I never paid for the hats. But
I never bought any hats either.
No, I never paid for the keys.
I have one I have one very proud item.
Someone raided my account and took my hats. And changed my password.
This one.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Saxy nomination.
Yeah.
We didn't win,
Rainmaker,
but we did get in the I think there was, I think the nominations that were in comedy, I think there's 3 that were nominated, and then through voting we just didn't win. But I didn't make the video. I did all the lighting for it, so I was just part of the team. But it was kind of neat. That was Stan. Stan did a great job with that video. It was the first time I saw a collaborative effort on a video actually work too.
Yeah.
Like the amount of collaboration projects that, like Doors, I don't consider in that type of collaboration where they say make a segment. It was actually like, here's the save file and everything you need. Download that, do what you need to do, and then we'll merge it back into the main file. It was kind of interesting. Like it kind of worked.
If there's one person doing all the cleanup to maintain consistency.
Yeah, I was part of a project that didn't have that, and that definitely had a problem.
No. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
That was trend surfing farming to get a lot of profit for as little effort as possible. I don't think they have to try very hard. They just made a platform well ahead of its time that took advantage of a market that nobody cared about. And now that they do, Valve was already so many years ahead in developing the platform that it's like they're they're being punished for being successful at something that they really didn't try very hard at. They just were early. I think now they don't really need to try hard because they have the power and they're just not being an asshole about things. I don't think they've flexed their power very much. If they've been opening up new markets just to get people to buy a game. Steam Deck does not exist to sell Steam Decks. They don't care about the sale of the Steam Deck. They are probably losing a crap load of money on every Steam Deck, but it gets people in a different area,
Get you buy games on Steam.
Yeah, people that normally wouldn't buy Steam, it's opening up that market. So yeah, and the Valve Index, they weren't selling a Valve Index to make money on a Valve Index. They were doing it to sell VR games. Everything is all about selling games. They made Half-Life Alyx to sell the Index so that people had the VR to buy VR games.
Half-Life Alyx is still the best VR game.
Yeah, but that's the only reason it exists.
Yeah.
Half-Life Alyx exists to sell other VR games by using the Index, and they gave it a unique feature with a finger thing, and then put it in the game and showed it off.
You can flick off the Combine.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, no, the Index is awesome. They're not making a bad product. The Index is... Well, I mean, they have, like, Steam controller. But they don't make bad products. I saw the stupid face. Give me a sec. They make great products, because if they don't make a great product, nobody's going to follow with it. But the Steam Deck and the Index are great products that are meant to push the sale of games. And then it created a competition in the market where now other people started making VR headsets. The amount of VR headsets that exploded after the Index, like updates to them to try to beat it out. And then the Steam Deck competitors that have been popping up. Valve cares nothing. And they're like, wow, that's way better than the Steam Deck. Valve's just like, good. Another person to go and buy some games.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Deadlock. I think I'm not gonna make any judgments towards it. What I'm looking forward to from Deadlock is a big update to the Source 2 engine, and by extension, the Source Film.
There's already games out on Source 2.
Yeah, but it needs an update. The last big update was Alyx, and that's what gave you Source Filmmaker 2. But it's just not finished. Maybe this will finish it. Fingers crossed, Gaben, if you're listening.
Yeah, he's definitely here.
Yeah, he's definitely here. He's listening. He knows when people talk about
It's because I have Applejack in the video I was working on.
Yeah.
Didn't he say Applejack was his favorite?
I don't know which one he said his favorite, but he definitely said he's a brony.
No, I'm pretty sure.
We have him in the confirmed brony. I don't know how much he still follows it, but at the peak. It was about that time we got a lot of pony themed things in Team Fortress 2. Hoof Life Episode 3. Yay, how old is this? 2012. Oh, I want Hoof Life Episode 3.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like early brony time.
Yes.
I swore. And I love this. I watched My Little Pony. So you're a brony. No, those are not the same phrase.
No, he does. He did say he's a brony.
Okay, yeah, sure. But just because you watched it does not make you
look at
that. It's like saying I at one point watched Twilight the movie or something, and like, does that suddenly mean that I have to pick like which team I'm on?
Yes.
No, I swear he said he was Applejack or something.
Team Count Chocula.
I'm not gonna bother. Added a new map to TF2 called Applejack. I have actually made, I think, like 4 videos using the audio from their Halloween thing way back that had them dressed as unicorns, and they talk about unicorn power. And they have a lot of references to phrases like with friendship is magic type references. It's pretty funny. All right, we got Stewface. What do we got? Cutie Mark. Oh, okay, that's what you said. I thought you were talking something else. They're playing the Xbox. I don't know if I have an original Xbox. Cheers, Stuffer.
You have the Xbox 360s.
Oh, you said original Xbox. I have one around here. It just doesn't work. Unless you really want to fix it.
You gotta have a place to set it up first.
But it's not a software issue, or it's a software issue, not a hardware issue.
Yeah, I can fix it.
Probably. It's just, I think it might require. You'd have to flash the operating system.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's probably through SATA. That's the way the PS2s were. All SATA cables.
Was it SATA? Was it what year did was it Xbox with PlayStation 2?
I think so. PlayStation 2 was SATA. I remember that because I flashed a couple of those back when we were doing not so friendly thing.
So that came out in 2000.
2000.
Yeah, 2000, and then
2002.
following. No, North America was 2001.
Yeah, it's a year later.
So it's a year later. Yeah.
Yeah, I have SATA connectors.
And I will have a place for it once I get rid of those couches. That's number one thing. If I can, I like to just find somebody that wants to buy theater seating. It is local because that shipping would kill you.
Willing to carry it out of this basement.
And he is willing to, well, help. I have no problem helping, or even just bring him to the garage with it, with us. But I'm not. I will help load a truck, but I'm not doing it myself. And they have to have something to load it into. But yeah, we're getting rid of those theater chairs. Apple Bloom.
Being eaten by an apple. Giant monster apple. Oh no. I know you're gonna make a shipping video.
What?
What?
They're like sisters.
No
Yeah, pretty
smooching.
much.
Okay, so they're playing Xbox. They might have an Xbox.
Oh, they got the empty pizza box. That seems very.
Yeah, I do not.
Just put,
When did I
it might
break
have to be
50,000?
Just put game console. See what comes up. Or console.
It's going to be a lot of stuff. Why is it
Did it
work?
crash? What'd you do?
Oh, just sometimes it decides it doesn't want certain keys to work.
That looks like a fancy console.
These are all computer consoles.
Yeah, and fancy ones.
There's got to be an Xbox model.
Who wants to play Xbox when there's PlayStation? Get an original PlayStation.
Original Halo.
No.
There it is. Wow, somebody actually went and made all of them.
Yeah.
That's kinda
They're
cool.
boxes. Why is one? Why is oh? That's
I loved my
you gotta
original
get the
Xbox.
bluey one. Go back. It's from that stupid.
Oh my
comic.
god. Comic? It's a real thing.
My daughter is an Xbox.
No.
Oh, they actually released a Bluey Xbox. I saw the comic where he's just devastated that his child is an Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Blue Xbox is real. I think it was like a one-time thing they did, and it was a contest to win it.
Yeah.
But that's why the comic exists, is because this did. And he's like, oh my god.
My child is an Xbox.
There's the pony one.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking like Pony started back in Xbox One.
2011, 2000.
It would have been Xbox One era, I think. Actually, a really good port.
It might
that
actually be a
image.
scan. Where they just scan a model and then makes it. Then all you have to do is texture it.
Yeah, maybe
Pretty high.
that is not the right controller for this system.
I don't know.
You need the Duke.
PlayStation nerd. The Duke? That sounds disgusting.
Yeah. You know what the Duke is?
No.
Okay, when you actually say it that way.
You need the Duke.
No, the Duke. This is the Duke.
Okay.
It was because the thing was huge. It was.
It looks a little unwieldy.
Yeah, it was. The original Xbox controller was so big that it was. I mean, it was nice and fine and whatever, but it was just so big that it got nicknamed the Duke. Yeah. The first generation X controller nicknamed the Duke. It was, they stopped doing that one not long afterwards.
Sounds like first
Yeah, they went from this one, you can see it's much bigger on the bottom. They switched to this one, which came up a little bit more. That was the one that most people would remember. I have a Duke, I think. Where is my old controller
I
stuff?
have
I think
a wireless
I know.
Xbox controller for some reason, like to the original Xbox, and I don't know if it works. Just in a box of random things.
Late 360s, early one era, I think 22. Yeah, I was pretty sure because I got out of console gaming in like late 2000s. Probably mid to late 2000s. That was kind of where I was ending it, and I was definitely in that was like 360 that I was still doing. They're missing out on the controller unless it's a different country spelling, but I never got an Xbox One. I never did that.
The last console I played in earnest was the PS2, so been a bit. That bump mapping, or is that?
I just saw something back there. They probably it's just like bump mapping a little bit.
I feel like this is a scan.
If it is, they would have had some detail there unless they flattened it. No, actually, I gotta say, whoever made this, kudos. This is actually very, very
it's not a scan,
nostalgic.
They did very, very good.
Oh, yeah, I do miss. I think that button would also go way in. The controller, it's like, oh my god, this is such a good time.
Having a moment.
Dolby Digital.
Okay, that's 100% a scan. If
No, hold on. No, that's just a bump map. You would see it denting in here, but it's flat.
Well, then how'd they get the exact printing?
You can Google it.
Yeah.
And then you just add it to the bump map. But no, I appreciate that detail. That's really cool. Oh, yeah. And there's even like, it's slightly off here. Because that's where the... Wait, can I open this? Oh. Oh, that's great. Oh, I think I pulled it out.
You broke it.
It's
already broken. That's why you can't have nice things.
Joint. Oh. They even put joints in the controller socket so that you can plug a controller in and keep it locked there. Super easy.
It was the early 2000s.
Well, no,
Join your Xbox.
actually, the Xbox controller had the breakaway cables. I loved breakaway. I mean, wireless now is even better, but
Yeah, I can see why that'd be a good thing. I remember a lot of people tripping over cables.
wait. Okay, so what was the specific request here? I want to check. Key marks play on original Xbox. Okay.
That fuse bad. No cookies for you. The bots have been extra aggressive recently. I had one on my stream yesterday. Oh, they're all. I get it.
Okay.
I was surprised the number of people showed up to my stream yesterday. I need to get better about rating after my streams.
Or just stopping streams.
What do you mean? I stopped my stream. At one time. Never forget. Whew. But you also killed Derpy on stream, so I don't know if we should trust you.
Yeah, you definitely killed Derpy. You said it.
No, that's Photoshop.
You said it.
Didn't happen.
You said that you killed Derpy.
That was not me. That was an imposter.
You very much said it. You said you crushed her.
You were just nowhere, and then suddenly.
No, I had it playing in the background.
Gotta like monitor the situation. It is fun. Also, you're a huge Final Fantasy VI nerd, so.
Except for like when you found Trixie, I was like, oh, okay, that's the Yeti.
No, the Yeti's supposed to be Apple Bloom.
Are you sure? Because I thought you said that
Apple Bloom's the Yeti. Another replacement for the Yeti.
But the Yeti's supposed to be big beef.
Yeah, well, the Yeti was Mod. Mod just doesn't join you.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, Michael admits to killing Derpy.
No, it's Photoshop. Not real.
Hold on. You had to destroy her.
No.
See, you murdered her.
No, it's not true. It's all lies. That person on the screen, you can't trust him.
You admit it.
Freaking Jurassic popped in that moment. Look at those distracting horses behind you.
Yeah, you definitely admitted it.
Can't hear it. See, they.
Oh God, yes.
No audio.
Oh, I gotta. No, see, Michael's trying to cheat it.
No, he's making stuff up.
See, okay, here again.
Was in the game. I made her a villain, and I had to destroy her.
Chat, look at all those coupons behind you. Don't pay attention to anything the man says.
Well, let's hear that again.
Destroy her, and to 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 destroy her.
Lies, lies and slander.
Destroy her, destroy her, destroy her, destroy her.
It's all nonsense.
I was so sad, so sad, sad, sad.
No.
Make it a redeem. I know I brought that up. I think that would be fun.
No, would not be fun.
I don't know. Like, you say that it wouldn't be fun, but that's only for you.
I didn't pick up any booze on the way home. I meant to, but then I forgot. Is there any in the downstairs fridge, or are we pretty much out?
We have.
We have meat that doesn't taste good.
No, there's booze down here.
Yeah.
Like, we still have a decent amount. I don't know what it's a mix of, but
Definitely need to pick something up tomorrow. I will see.
yeah, usually murdering your waifu will do that.
Lies, nonsense. Murder nobody. No boys.
Oh, I apparently did not get this correctly copied. What did you find? It does say. No, I don't think it's Imperial.
Not quite, but it's high. No, Trixie's an interesting character. I don't know who she replaced it, but she only has one ability.
I know who she replaced.
Who? Just do you know the one ability she has?
Mimic.
Yeah. So I both love and hate her.
Yeah, Go-Go.
She replaced Go-Go?
His thing is mimicking.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm like, it has to be the wrong name, and I typed it in and it actually was right.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, when it comes to some things, I have your crazy knowledge.
Yeah,
but
Final Fantasy VI.
I haven't played to the point in Final Fantasy VI to actually see Go-Go for like 15 years.
See, I like Trixie or Go-Go, I guess, because she can basically just copy whatever your strongest ability is. You just time it properly from any of your characters over and over again.
It's Knights of the Round.
She's a multiplier, yeah.
Knights of the Round with W summon.
But the downside is she can't learn any new magics. There's no real benefit to leveling her in your party. You can't make her stronger by keeping her in your party. If anything, it's a detriment to somebody else who you could be making stronger.
They'll copy the attack, but it probably uses his stats.
Yeah.
So yes, leveling them is important.
Well, they're going to level anyways.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, they don't level as quick, but they still, like, keep pace with everyone else. Like,
Where you gonna go, Michael?
We're dancing. It's the song they're dancing to.
Okay.
You gotta make them dance.
Well, I was gonna make them right here.
I thought you said he was a snowman. Who said anything about a snowman?
No, I thought he was, from where he was picked up, I thought that Trixie was going to be the Yeti. But it sounds like it wasn't. It sounds like it was Go-Go instead. But now that I think about it, Go-Go was at the end of a big cavern with a bunch of falling crap. Yeah. So, yeah, that doesn't make sense. The Yeti's in Narsh. Yeah. It should have been just stayed as mod.
I think so too, but I think they want all three of the CMC in the game as playable characters. So they changed things around to make it Apple Bloom. It didn't make sense for Apple Bloom to be Go-Go. Mod made sense. Especially with Pinky being Mog. Problem with Pinky and Rainbow Dash's characters is that their abilities are really random. They're not bad. They're just you don't always get the result you want.
Because Mog's dancing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll explode a little bit.
We kind of have like a little one hoofy thing.
They were doing a great dance. Good. Playing on an Xbox. Gonna go.
There we go, another loop.
Look at my hooves, they're cute little hooves, dancing hooves. I got little tiny hooves, I need to dance a whole lot. Look
at them bounce. They don't know what to do.
Breaking the time space.
You know when you look at video of an airplane rotor?
That's this.
Actually, it is exactly what that is.
They're trying to...
You're seeing a really fast animation at a frame rate.
Yes.
So yes, that is exactly what we're seeing.
No, they're trying to learn to fly just by kicking. I think they're almost there.
No, this is actually faster. Oh no. I think they downloaded the CrowdStrike.
Kids have too much energy.
Like donk. I should make a button that's just a blue screen button. Not a real blue screen, but like just like, Michael, what are you doing? Dong. I kind of want to do that now, actually.
Fun.
There, they're back to regular dancing. Actually, this would be better if we took them and we said, like, there's one, and then there's the other. Now they're a little slightly different. This is how they go to school.
Yeah, see, that just makes them super adorable. If I saw 3 horse children walking on the road like that, it'd be impossible not to run out and give them hugs.
I'm pretty sure that gets you arrested.
No, it's fine.
If there's 3 children walking down the street and you run out to give them a hug,
it's impossible not to. Look at them.
Well, Michael is banned from living near elementary schools.
Luckily, children on horses, so it's fine.
See, look at them go.
Look at them go. It's so cute.
What, stop bouncing? Why did you stop bouncing? Oh, I only did the bouncing for this part.
Church stoppers too. Electric scootaloo. Goals.
Michael, if you saw this going down the street, would you call the police? Because they're going to be up to no good.
No, they're definitely coming. They're going to wreck some stuff up. They're doing it. They're going to go eat those flowers over there. Something. Sounds pretty bad kids. Oh no. Okay, well, they went from eating flowers to apple bloom. Is definitely plotting murder now. Okay, they went from plotting murder to have just committed murder, and they're on their way to the next one. They've killed at least 10 people at this point. Hello, trombone. It's good that you're back. Because there are some crazy kids coming up the road. CMC are a legendary trio. Well, they're about ready to become infamous, I think. He animated them to be so cute, and now he's got them on a murderous rampage.
You're the one that said they're on a murderous rampage.
You put axes in their hands.
In their hands. Hey, wait, hands?
Who's
Michael?
in their hands?
Okay.
I feel like they're just sowing fields for planting.
Have you ever seen Kung Fu Hustle?
Yes.
That's what this is. It's the Axe Gang.
Murder horses. The CMC here is me for real. Oh no. Just like nobody's standing in our way. That would be a horrible episode. CMC axe throwers, and then they just murder freaking 2 people with town bags. No, why? You're supposed to be nice to Derby. She's a good horse. Why are you doing this? Why are you a monster? No.
No, they stopped. They put it down before getting the dirt.
Yeah, they don't want to
They actually put it down. That just was timing. Like it comes to Derpy, and like, I mean, Scootaloo's definitely just going right through, but
yeah, fine. They don't want to hurt Derpy. Why do you make see the children now?
Dinky. Oh no, I think I don't. I don't even remember if there's Dinky for that, but no, I think I've went like way longer in that request than.
They were starting with the Xbox and suddenly marching murder children.
They were playing on the Xbox.
They were. How's everybody's Tuesday?
Mine was actually pretty busy.
Mine too. I didn't answer all my emails before I left work, but
I had to get in a meeting with my old boss and a government regulator for something, and the first 2 minutes of the whole meeting was them talking over each other, trying to like tell the other one that they're wrong. They literally would not stop talking over the other one, because if they did, they would give in. So it's just me sitting there going, I have no idea what they're saying.
sounds
It was funny.
not very productive.
No, it ended up just a misunderstanding, which is I knew what it was going to be, and then so we just had to give them time to talk, and then like we figured it all out, and it was fine. But it was just hilarious.
We had a large order come in today, or a shipment, and then we just recently moved, and I knew the inventory on the shelves was all out of order because the managers who put it there didn't put it back in the right order, so it made filing everything in the inventory take twice as long. And I told them after, and then they started like pointing fingers about whose fault it was. I'm like, I don't care, can you just fix it? And then they're like, oh, I'll get around to it when I have time. I was like, oh, that means I'm gonna do it. That was my day, or a large portion of it. Also, they ran off because they didn't like the faucets in the new bathrooms, and then they came back with the wrong size parts, and then they told me to try to figure it out. So I went into there, and like one of the valves for closing off the waters to the sinks was rusted, and I couldn't turn it. I said I can try to force it, but if it breaks, it's gonna make a huge mess. But they couldn't find the main water line turn-off valves, so they decided against it and took all the stuff that they bought back to the hardware store. That was their day. They don't have enough things to do, and they're worrying about freaking faucets.
Kind of forgot to do the leg here. I want to make sure. Okay, yeah, you can't really see the wobble there.
Oh, look how squishy that mirror is.
It's against regulation. It's against regulation.
Man, humans got ripped off. No, like some animals get like fur on.
No,
them,
they had
on their
fingers, and then
feathers.
they got it ripped off.
And they get magical horns. How's that not better?
Get it?
I get it. You ripped off their fingers.
Yeah. See, they don't have hooves; they have palms.
That would hurt to walk on those.
Well, they did not when they were born. It was years ago, and it's just they had it ripped off, and for some reason, genetically, that's just carried over.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know how that works.
Carried over.
It's like somebody lose their arm, and then their children don't have arms. But
They lost their arm on the genetic level. It's crazy.
I think here. There's not it's not animated to have the legs corrected here. She just kind of slides forward, and that's not good.
Well, good luck, trombone, on your
Columbus for rolling a musical this evening. Ooh. What musical is it?
Are you playing in the musical like an instrument, or are you on stage? Jesus Christ Superstar. Oh, okay. That's a popular one.
I'm gonna just smooth this afterwards.
I can't honestly say, even in all of school, I was ever in a play. Not even like a kid's one.
I was in one that was called Don't Kick the Turkeys. I can't remember. It was like a church thing, so it was like religion based or whatever, but
turkeys.
Yeah, I think we only did one show or something, but
no encores.
No, it was fun though. I got to basically play the idiot. I had to do all the, like, I was the comic relief.
Oh.
So I didn't have many parts, but when I came out there, I was supposed to do something ridiculous all the time. So.
And that's sweet.
I still have the pamphlet for it in a box. I found it just a couple months ago. It's fun.
I'm in theater. I am not in a play. I believe you, Biden. Take you.
Yeah, something got weird with some of these locks and stuff. Like that roof is
brown.
But I think it's fine for this angle.
The weather improved a lot for Saturday. I heard on the radio today. Sunday's still, I think, not great.
Saturday, 89.
It's still hot, but the rain went away.
Rain went away, but it's 89.
What, you don't want to sit by a hot fire in 89-degree weather?
Not particularly. And it's the low is 71, so it would take all the way through like the 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's 60% humidity at 90 degrees. You're the one that it's like, if it's 76 and 55% humidity, you're like, it's too hot and humid.
Maybe board games then, huh?
Something. I don't know about fire pit.
I prepared all that wood, which is just the wood pile looks so nice with all the cut logs, and now it's just this like weird. It's like a witch's hut firewood now. All that like weird debris wood. It's just mangled roots and like cursed children in a wood pile.
Actually, it's not exactly what I was hoping for, but I'm kind of okay with it. I'm gonna keep it. You kind of glitchy a little bit, but in a good way. What was it?
I was saying, have you taken a look at the wood pile since I can stack stuff on it?
No,
It's a lot of sticks.
I haven't been out there because it's been either hot, humid. I still have to go and clear out the wood chips too.
Yeah. No, it's been kind of nasty. Now it's either raining or hot. Today was nice. Today wasn't bad.
Today wasn't bad. Yeah, I'll agree with that. It was supposed to be hotter and more rainy, and it was a little bit this morning, but then it ended up becoming pretty nice.
Rainy and hot there too, huh? Well, we got that in common.
Well, not today. Today, like right now, I
Today
think
was
it's 71.
Yeah.
Yeah, 74 right now. It's actually really nice right now, but it's going to be 90 this weekend. But compared to the rest of the U.S., we have had a glorious. Our winter was great, our spring was great, and our summer's been great.
Our winter was great in that there was not much snow, which is odd for Minnesota.
It was a strangely warm winter with less snow, and we only had a couple days below zero, and otherwise it was pretty nice. Spring, or we had random days of 70 mixed in. Spring started at a decent time and ran quite a while, and we've only had a couple days that we've even went in the high 80s. So compared to the rest of the U.S., we're doing great.
He's gonna be so sad if she comes here in October and there's no snow.
Who?
Kitty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's October.
Yeah, sometimes snows in October.
No, rarely.
I didn't know they were doing like an Oktoberfest thing at the mall. That might be interesting.
We usually did the Oktoberfest thing at the Ren Fair.
That's true.
But that's like the first weekend of October.
Yeah. They got good mead.
Actually, Ren Fair starts in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I think.
I think we should get Final Fantasy 1 costumes.
I was actually looking at us like wanting to do something.
I like Final Fantasy 1. I think we can get costumes. I want to be the Black Mage.
Yeah, this.
Because he gets to wear a big robe, and I'm a big guy.
Yeah, August 17th. So it's actually starting in like 3 weeks, and then it runs. Oh, Actually, it used to run into October. It must not have worked out this year for weekends. Oh, it's usually the first couple days of October. And if I'm guessing by weekends, if it just ended up those weekends don't cross into October. But yeah, I definitely want to do some more Ren Fair. Just early or mid-August is going to be hot. September's better.
It's always nicer towards the end of the Ren Fair before it gets too cold for Ren Fair. Because people are in those costumes, and I guess some of the costumes are better than others when it comes to like not burning to death inside of them. But
well, there's the guys that just they pull the carts, and they're just running around without a shirt on.
Yeah,
but it's because they're like beef.
Yeah, they're showing off.
Yeah, those guys are definitely like they got giant muscles, and they're just literally you pay them and they run you around in a cart. It's taxi service. It's pretty fun.
You're getting the workout in, just hauling people around, getting paid for the fun. I think it'd be cool to dress up, but that would be like my vote for what to dress up as.
Well, if you want to do that, you're gonna have to start looking into outfits pretty soon.
Yeah. But find ones that fit too. I wonder, like,
Etsy and stuff has some pretty neat stuff, but you're gonna pay
for anything.
Well, you're gonna pay for anything. You're looking for a custom Final Fantasy outfit. Who would you do?
No, they probably just sell them. It's a popular genre.
I don't know, but who are you looking to do?
Like Mage?
Oh, you're talking like not a specific character, but like
no, Final Fantasy 1.
Well, then it's just you
Black
just
Mage fighter. It's just a guy in red, a guy with a blue hat, blue thing. It's super simple.
Yeah.
And it fits like the whole medieval thing. Like the Japanese take on medieval, but Western medieval, but that's fun.
Actually, I kind of like going forward and staying forward. Going backwards seemed a little much. Yeah, I was originally thinking about doing some stuff like that too, but I haven't looked into it. Some people there though, they go so crazy at their outfits. Like there's some people with like full on amazing detailed real leather outfits that look, I would say legit, though most of the times like they're way too clean and well done for that era. They're definitely in the mind's eye type thing, and it's so good.
There's always a couple of Geralts of Rivia walking around, which is fun.
There was a couple that definitely looked like, okay, you got kind of a dad bod when you're doing it, sure. But then there was the one guy that legit looked great. Mm-hmm. Like everything looked super detailed, and that was great. He did an amazing job.
Who traveled with Geralt all the time, who was older, and he had a bit of a dad bod. I mean, he just cosplays him. Dad, Geralt's dad, essentially. Geralt wasn't the last Witcher, but he was like the youngest one that was left. There's only a handful.
It's against regulation. I don't like that. It's against regulation. It's against regulation. Regulation. It's against regulation. It's against regulation.
Oh wow, they have a lot of cosplays. Just like if you can fit into it, eBay's got like a $90 costume, so you just dress up as Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. It's probably like a super size small. It's like you got to be the thinnest man alive to wear this one. But probably not me.
Yeah, well, because they're trying to fit the actual character.
Mm-hmm. Why Why can't I be Scaldy after years? You know, when he stopped working out and just started telling people about it.
You can. There's people that do that.
Yeah.
They do like a character where they mix like that, but then they mix in like beer cans or something. And I've seen people do stuff like that. It can be pretty awesome.
Here's my gum blade. It don't work no more. But it's still kind of cool.
Against regulation. It's against regulation.
That's the costume I'd want to wear. See how free flowing that is? Black Mage would be cool.
You'd be rotund Black Mage.
You wouldn't be able to tell under all the robe. You'd be fine. That's cool.
You just gotta dress
flowing robe.
But dress underneath there with like something that people wouldn't expect on the robe.
Just wear a bikini. It'd be great. Don't think I could pull it off, huh?
It's against regulation.
So judgmental.
It's against regulation.
Treating Eldritch Wizard. Now, I think the Final Fantasy 1 characters, if four of us made it very clear that we were Final Fantasy 1 characters, which is going to be super easy costumes, or cheap ones anyways.
Kind of, but you're also asking a bunch of people just for your purpose and entertainment to all dress up and invest in something for a one-off joke.
Yeah, we did it before.
Did you pay for it?
No.
Yeah. So there's that person making that choice, and they bought a multi-pack of a lot of stuff to save the money on it because it was all the same thing.
Yeah.
Doing the monks.
It sounds like a song.
It's against regulation.
We can all dress up as
Against
ponies.
regulation.
We did go one year, and there was somebody in like a Rainbow Dash armor. Pretty neat.
The one I found funny is because the one time we were dressed up as monks, we were all dressed up as, we had brown ones, but we ran into somebody that had the exact same outfit but in purple. It's like, purple brother. It was just the chances of like that exact. They're like, you find it on Amazon? Yup.
Regulation.
You do feel a little bit more part of it when you're dressed up. But it's a little bit more fun.
But like those brown cloaks, it depends on weather. Like if it's a hot day, we had a good day for that. It was actually fairly nice.
We did kind of leave ourselves up to theological discussions too, a little open to it, which.
It's against regulation.
And like, yeah, going up to, because the monks were really the ones that made the alcohol. Going up to get alcohol, and they're like, "What are you doing getting the alcohol? Go back and make some beer." And we're like, "We're on break."
I'll take him like that. I'll take him like that. It's against regulation.
The monasteries made a lot of money.
It's against regulation. It's against
Make them
regulation.
booze.
Regulation.
I'm kind of okay with the little dip. Yeah, I kind of forgot about how close it was getting because fall feels so far away, but for Minnesota, fall basically starts towards the end of August, so that's like 1 month from now. Mm-hmm. So I probably should look into that.
I'll take him like that.
You have Gmod now.
I'll take him.
You're in the future.
Who?
Ice. And they also have Gmod now.
Oh, that's the last one line of it. Wow. You're 20 years late.
Yes, I remember being a relative child playing Gmod.
Take him like that. It's against regulation.
Well, Gmod's awesome. It's the ultimate sandbox.
Take him like that. It's against regulation.
Gmod's been out a long time, guys. I don't know how to tell you. It's not bad. Gmod's fun.
Yeah, when did Gary's mod come out? ...2006. So it's 18 years.
I was
It's super fun though. So it's
I was 21 when that came out. I don't like that.
It's against regulation.
I don't like that I was that old already when that game came out. I could have sworn I was a teenager. I'm wrong. I was in between. I was in college. Close enough.
like some of the first videos on my YouTube are from Gmod. Remember that you're able to put the pony models into Gmod using the Pony SFM site. So, oh yeah, anything that SFM can use, Gmod can use. They're both running on essentially the exact same engine. So sometimes there's certain functionality that Gmod might need that SFM won't have. Like I mentioned before about surface prop. So like if you're in Gmod and it's missing, shooting something with a bullet might not act correctly, but if it is in there, then yeah, it would work. There's certain other functions like ragdolling might not work exactly as you want it to without certain things in place, but for the most part, yeah, SFM just doesn't need some of the fancy stuff because there's no actual physics, so you don't need ragdolling, and there's no need for surface props because you're not actually shooting anybody, though. Technically, there is the play and the record buttons here. You are able to, using the TF2 engine, do TF2 videos by loading in a character model and piloting it. And so you would hit record, it would start a timer, and then when the timer hit, it would start recording everything you were doing. All the bullets you did, all the if you shot something, all the physics that would come out of the gun, it would actually record all that. So, it just doesn't only works with really TF2 because that's the only thing the engine is built for in this.
The kids are watching Skibidi Toilet and thinking, wow, this Gmod technology is brand new.
So she's pivoting too much on her.
Still hurts me that the Colbert Show did a Skibidi Toilet reference recently.
He had no idea what he was saying.
No. Well, they did like a whole little like animated skit thing.
Oh, yeah, he didn't make it.
No, it was just on a show. But that is based off Skibidi Toilet is Gary's mod / source filmmaker, and here we are in 2024 making references to something made in it. And it makes me feel young. Kids these days using the old people software. I feel like by saying that, I've killed Skibidi Toilet. I'm not sorry. It's like, I see you kids found Stick and Hoop. That was my favorite game too when I was a kid. Stick and Hoop.
Okay, that's a bit better. Oh, I need to do our eyes closely.
Do you feel any regret that you animated ponies instead of talking heads inside of toilets? If only I had done singing heads inside of toilets. That's apparently where the success was at. How could I not have known?
The benefit of that it's fandom agnostic. So if you want to hit a broad going after a specific fandom is nice because it's really easy to get a starting audience, but if you want to get a broad large audience, you can't go after a certain fandom because it's going to lock it down.
That's the Half-Life fandom they jumped off of. The Half-Life fandom they jumped off of because early Skibidi Toilet was just all Half-Life characters, but their heads were in toilets.
But even then, a lot of those are just people in outfits. If you're not using the...
No, they have Gordon get killed by a toilet.
But is it Gordon or is it Gordon's model?
It's Gordon's model, actual full model running from toilets.
Yeah, but
alongside Barney.
But they're not using... Like, it's like I'm using this as Trixie as being Trixie, or Applejack as being Applejack.
He's holding a crowbar.
That's just because that's
It's all Gordon does.
it's not. I wouldn't say it's a Half-Life reference. It's just Source.
Yes.
Because all of Gmod was just like, remember the Idiots box? That was just G-Man doing stupid stuff, but it wasn't a Half-Life reference.
I mean, they're Half-Life characters. It's Kleiner toilet and G-Man toilet. Beware spoilers and copyright violations, of course. Yes. I suggest hashtag memes. What does Argo and Mike think? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm too old for this.
So looks nice.
Kind of interesting.
I got myself the book from Bill lately, like from Barnes and Book of Bill, like Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls. Oh. No, if you want to just show it, like the stuff from the book in the server, yeah, I don't care. As long as you're not doing like page by page every single thing.
I don't know how much moderation Discord really sees from the people who run it. So.
And well, and nothing's stopping you from posting like a picture of like, look at this cool book. But if you put every single page, well, then you're infringing on some rights because you're distributing the content. But showing like a page of something, essentially what you're doing is helping sell it. Because if somebody's like, oh, that's a really cool book, but you're like, but you can't look at it because if you look at it, then that's illegal.
I think if you're worried about infringing on a copyright, you just have to make the characters act out of character. Like, for instance, these two characters would never smooched in the show, but if he has them smooch here, well, then it's out of character, and it would be completely safe to post it wherever. So, any thoughts on maybe avoiding copyright laws by making those two persons smooch?
I think Finn has something to say about that.
Look, I'm just trying to help you. Okay? This is me helping you.
There.
No smooching.
Call out the chat.
No smooching.
Comes all the no smooching. You guys are trying to get him in trouble. I'm trying to help him.
Are you trying to help?
Yeah, avoid copyright infringement by making the characters smooch. It's the only way.
I don't think I have anything to worry about.
It's the only way to stop them. These horses gotta smooch. Do it. Smooch for freedom. American flag comes in the back. Starts waving. Smooch for freedom. You hear an eagle call somewhere off in the distance. I want you to imagine it. And at the center of all of it is those two horses smooching. Beautiful. Give me smooches or give me death. Exactly, so you're getting it, Sunset. I'm resisting the temptation to ask a user, how do you live with 8 gigabytes of RAM? It does
To ask
seem
a
little low
user
by these
how do you-
today's standards.
I have a computer in the other room that it's currently all it does is encode videos. That's all it does. I turn it on and I do that, then I turn it off. That alone eats 7 gigs just opening the system. Like, I haven't even opened any programs yet. And 8 gigs on a standard PC, not a tablet or mobile or anything. 8 gigabytes is barely enough. 12, it is manageable though.
I don't think I could live with less than 16. And I would prefer 64.
16, too much RAM can be bad too though. But because you're not able to fully utilize, like if you only have 2 sticks, it's better than 4 for some things. And if you have too much, it can sometimes cause addressing issues in terms of maximizing speed. It's beneficial for if you need a lot of RAM, but not always good otherwise. The sweet spot right now, to me, is 32. It's 16 tends to be a little short on some things, and 64 is kind of overkill for most things. 32, I think right now I'm using
16 runs most things, but then if you have anything,
I have 64 right now.
It calls yeah. See, you're giving crap about 64, and they're like, I have
no, because After Effects, if I want to do a RAM preview, it builds it in your RAM.
Yeah.
So if I want to have anything more than like 4K 45 seconds, I need 64. So I have it for that purpose. But if I had to, like, if I switch over to DDR5 and build a new system to DDR5, I am 100% just doing 32. Actually, I might even yank some of the RAM out of here because the other computer that I have that has 16 could use more.
Yeah,
so
make sure they're both the same RAM operating on the same. I don't know what it's called, but there's like a certain frequencies. Otherwise, you have crashing issues.
No, because the kits that I have is 16 and 6. They're 16 gig 6. So if I take 32 out, or I take it out, I'll be fine.
Okay.
Because those 2 sticks are 32. I just fully swap the sticks that are in the other computer and it has 32 now.
Well, then you're fine. You have 1 stick of RAM?
RAM is super cheap. If you have the ability to do 2 DIMMs, I would do 2 DIMMs. Like, it's so cheap. Dual channel is a huge benefit.
You found I'm playing Derpy for your hiccups. If you had shared your muffin with Derpy,
My 6 on numpad is not working. Oh, here's. Okay. I have 1 RAM.
I have 1 singular RAM. My first computer had 8 megabytes of RAM, so I don't want to hear nothing from you kids. I played Sierra.
Who are you talking to?
Computer. Show people.
I think you said Giz.
No, I said kids.
Okay, I think you said Giz. I'm like, I don't see Giz here.
It's children, you don't know. But you wouldn't have to steal it if you'd share. Really on you newfound brownie.
I'll take him like that.
RAM is like, if you ever are like, I want to get, I'm at 8 gigs, I want to go to 16, you can get a 16 or a 32 gig kit for like $30 now of DDR4. But like,
You're still using DDR4 though.
for most things, DDR4 is fine. In terms of gaming, if you look at gaming performance differences, DDR5 doesn't really do much. In some games, it's actually worse. But I think it's because it's new. It'll get better over time.
I don't even know if DDR5 is all that new anymore.
That's Flare series. Yeah, I just get Ripjaw stuff because I don't care. Because they're cheap and they're good.
I haven't had a problem.
I think this is the exact kit that I have, and I have these exact RAM sticks in my server, the coding PC, and my main PC. Every computer I have has that RAM.
I think my computer has 4 sticks of that.
Yeah, and so this is $40 for a 16 gig kit, but it's just 32 is just an extra $15 for going team group. I'm not sure on them, but there's Corsair Vengeance, so just a little bit more. Yeah, it's just crazy. Oh, here's the third. There's 60. It's just so. The RAM is so cheap.
RAM's gotten a lot cheaper than it was for a while there.
Okay, one of my pieces of RAM to 32 gives me 36 gigs. Constantly crash my computer. Oh yeah. No, it's you can mix and match RAM, but there's if you want to check some certain things, but in terms of mix and match, it still means buy the same brand, buy the same type, and then on those sticks of RAM, you need to double check some other things because even though they're exactly the same, you can have different issues, and you shouldn't put in dual channel any mix sticks. If you have two sticks and like your 2 and 4 slot on your motherboard and you have your 1 and 3 still open, you can put in other RAM there, but try to keep it the same speed.
There's some specs you have to check. Yeah, speed
but if
specs.
it's the biggest issue is if you're doing dual channel, the two that are connected for dual channel have to be
exactly the same speeds.
You don't have to be, but if they're not, you have a very high chance of instability.
Yeah.
It's just, you could get lucky.
I have mixed sticks on my work computer, but it's on the 2 different channels. And I got this, it's not the exact same speed, but it's close. And I haven't had any issues, but I knew to try to keep it roughly the same.
Against regulation. It's against regulation.
But you do want to avoid, it's the safest bet is to always, if you're adding more RAM to your computer and you don't want to get rid of your old RAM, just get the exact same RAM. That's the safe bet. Otherwise, you could have instability issues if you don't know exactly what you're doing.
And for how cheap it is, that's where it's just safer to just pick up the other sticks.
Yeah.
It's against regulation.
But I've never had problems with the Ripjaw stuff, so.
I have never,
It's against regulation.
that I can think of.
I can't take him like that. It's against.
Isn't that kind of cool looking?
I don't think they're anything special.
Got neat heat sinks on them.
I don't even care. My computer's in another room.
Yeah, it is.
I care zilch about
There's only one kind of RAM
Looks.
I would say do not buy because I've had lots of problems. That's Kingston. Kingston RAM is crap.
I'll take him like that.
my laptop and Asus could only hold 24 gigs. Depending on this, computer, I know DDR4, I think the most you get is 128 on a standard consumer PC.
You'll never need that though.
But it's only because they only did 4 stick, and I think you can only have an individual stick at 32 gigs.
Yeah.
You couldn't go any higher on a single stick on DDR4, but you can do like 64 gigs or higher sticks on DDR5 pretty easily.
Yeah.
But I don't. There's no point. If you're just gaming on your computer, don't buy anything more than 32.
I mean, maybe someday a game will come out. Well, no, because I think a lot of future computers are going to be moving away from RAM entirely
To what?
to just pulling directly off of solid states. The solid states are going to be so fast.
They're not getting anywhere near RAM speeds, though.
But we're talking about a system that's essentially the same.
You know how
is-
fast RAM goes, right?
Yes, because they're operating on more channels,
Yeah, but
but it's
they're-
the same storage system.
the only time they're optimizing RAM speeds right now is that they're just getting it closer. Proximity is becoming an issue. This how close you are getting it to the fastest RAM speeds that are like in certain laptops are because they soldered it right next to the processor.
Yeah.
But they can get some crazy high speeds then. But if it to get to that requires doing that, putting a drive further down on a couple channels using PCIe, unless they find some ways to compress the data to get there faster, which then is going to eat up other cycles decompressing it, it's not going to change much. The whole architecture would have to change before they do that.
Yeah.
That's where having the 3DX or the 3D chips are nice, because if you just add a ton more memory on the processor, you don't have to use the memory as much. I mean, still, you're gonna have to get gigs, and compared to like what 96 or 100 and something megabytes that are
I
on
could
the
see
chip.
processors that combine the RAM and the processor into one thing.
Take him like that.
That's why the 1500 X3D I have was way faster than the 5950 for gaming, because it's just the games can better utilize it.
Take him like that.
I think it might be good.
Take him like that. Take him like that.
And I did the cleanup on the shot, right? Yeah, I did. Oh, why are you still here? Go away.
I mean, they kind of already do that with GPUs, where there's just memory on the graphics card itself.
Yeah,
I think my graphics card has 16 gigs.
They need very large files transferred very quickly back and forth.
Yeah.
But they're soldered on too. That's different than a plug-in drive, no matter what. You can do way more speeds with soldered on. All right. No, I don't think SSDs are going to take over memory at any point, because like, what is it like?
No, if the majority of the memory is being stored in the GPU, then transfer rates from RAM is going to become less and less important. I mean, you're still going to have RAM technically, but it's going to be in the processors themselves, as opposed to a separate thing.
So they can do, I'm guessing it'd be that's bits, but it's 4,000 and 6,400 on DDR5 million transfers per second.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be harder to get the numbers for these, but I'm going to guess it's a lot lower, because I think you can do some drives up to like 4 or 5 gigs per second, I think. But they'll overheat super quickly, and that is only if all the data is in order.
Yeah.
RAM only works, or not RAM, hard drives only have their maximum speed if you are pulling from beginning to end and nothing changes. The random access of RAM is what has its power. If you tried to pull from an NVMe, like this is something you can do for this. Yeah, because a lot of these tests, when you look at them, this is sequential testing, but then random access. And when you look at some of these speed tests, this is the speed when you're pulling direct. This is the speed when you're pulling random.
Yeah.
They just get killed. So hard drives are great, and they get really fast, but only if everything's in order.
Yeah.
RAM is just really good at just take it from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
My mom programmed computers with punch cards when she was 18. From her stories, it sucked. One missed punched hole, and the whole stack of cards had to be redone. Oh yeah, you can't really unpatch the hole. My dad did that too. He was he had his computer programming with hole punches. I had a computer class in college that was machine code. So you had to write programs that talked directly to the CPU. So it was like if you need to do an add operation, you needed to say like load in address for whatever, go and access memory location of this, put it in this specific location on the local memory, then pull that or pull in second piece of data, put it in other piece of memory there, then perform add operation, store in third memory cell, then move that memory cell. Like an add operation actually would take like this much lines of stuff, because you have to tell it where to put the data. Like it was kind of neat, because it's like trying to write a program where you only can use like 10 or 12 operations. and the amount of, like, if you wanted to multiply, there's no multiply option. It's trying to use addition and tricks within math to like simulate it using addition, and subtraction was just using the addition but with a negative number. It was weird. It was because it was why we don't need to add a whole function if we can just simulate it in there using the ones we have to save space and processing. It's neat. It was a very fun class. I like the teacher in that class.
I can't take him.
Which one do we want to do now?
I feel fine. Well, do us a favour. I can't. Well,
That's a big one. Okay, so this.
Well, can you wait around a couple of minutes? You won't be long. I've got to go to wrong.
I still remember as a kid, when I was like 10 years old, my grandmother bought us a computer, and not a week after we had it, my mom caught me in the room, which was her bedroom, where the computer was, and I had it completely disassembled on the floor. And she was like, she told me, she's like, "You broke it." I'm like, "I didn't break it. I just took it apart. I can put it back together." And sure enough, I put it back together, and my mother was thoroughly impressed and happy because she thought she was going to have to call someone to come fix it. She was quite livid. But she left me alone long enough to put it back together, so.
Wait. Another thing about that phrase. I've got to go to the Robinsons. They lost 9 today.
9 people.
But how does he know that?
He got messages.
But it's like, let's say it's the middle of the day, because it definitely looked like the sun was high.
Yeah.
That means that by halfway through the day, they had 9 deaths.
Yeah.
And they had then taken that information, sent it off to the headquarters, where they then distributed down through the ranks to him specifically to know that was coming.
Yeah, it's a very good system.
In medieval times,
Yeah.
so you can go bring bring.
Maybe they sent birds,
Crows,
sparrows.
maybe, but then that seems like a very rich family.
No, sparrows are cheap.
Well, I don't know. They had 9 people in their family. Well, probably a lot more.
Yeah.
Who knows? This is back in the Catholic era where they're probably just popping them out. Which is also one of my favorite jokes they did there, when you like the Catholic family that has like 800 kids.
What, the flying circus joke?
Yeah, no, it was in Meaning of Life. It was at the beginning of it.
I was thinking of the skit. Or maybe it was Meaning of Life.
Yeah, it was Meaning of Life where they had like a ton of kids in there.
Yeah.
And then the mother was pregnant and she just drops the baby and she's like, "Oh, poor Bartley had another."
It's Mad World. I thought that was great. She doesn't want that horse anymore. I want it.
I think I might actually just have to jump to here. Some of those have some crossover that I kind of want to animate the bit before I do that. So,
You know, that's the most tragic part about this whole thing is I would be I'm sure there's someone out there who would be happy to take that horse.
this one?
Yeah.
But she's sick.
No, she'd be fine.
She's not good. Did you see it? Like, okay, Mike, look at this.
And she'll get better.
Look at this. Look at how bad her cookies are.
No, they're good cookies. I like those cookies. I don't want to go on the cart.
She's got some pretty poor quality cookies.
No, we can feed her applesauce. She'll be fine now.
I don't know if she can. I was gonna make a bad joke there. Never mind.
No smooching. It does sound terrible. Unclear as whether the University of Florida or somewhere in New Zealand in the 60s and 70s, but they apparently had a high-speed card reader that would occasionally make a whap noise and shred a whole stack of cards with the flying confetti. Well, that did sound awful. Probably shouldn't put shredders inside of the card readers.
But that was back like when computing was the Wild West of stuff. That also sounds like it would have been a very interesting time to be a part of that. I was at least a part of the Wild West of the internet. Early days when like I started doing programming stuff, and there was no like, now there's standards, the W3 standards for how to process HTML and do that, all that. But was it early 2000s? Every web browser would just process it the way they wanted. So there would be so many web browsers that had a function that would only work in their browser. So you'd go to a website and it just wouldn't work on that browser because there was no standardization. And then everybody started getting together, making these standards because they're so sick of it. And Microsoft was like, but we have power. So we're going to make sure that we still force. So while everybody's going to one standard, they said, screw it, we're going to make our own standard, and it screwed them over so bad. So bad. Internet Explorer's big thing with being absolute trash was because they were trying to force their way into being the most proprietary thing out there when it comes to web browser. And they're still doing it today.
They tried to be an Apple.
Well, nothing's changed. They still, no, not kind of like that. They wanted to be the ones to write the standards because then they had full control of them, and then going forward, they could just keep developing on it. So they made all these Azure and all these other platforms that only work there. But then when I was doing web development back then, you had to test to make sure it worked on all of them, and the amount of times I would write in HTML, and then there was a special thing in the HTML you could write that would say, if Internet Explorer, you can read this, because it would be the only thing that needed to run that. And sometimes it only IE6, because IE6 was, no, IE8 was the worst of all, but 6 had some problems too. It was just, I had a special program that would simulate all those different browsers so that I could try to run them all in one place. It was rough. And you didn't have, I think you had Dreamweaver or like some programs to kind of help you with web programming, but it was very minimal. A lot of sites were just made by hand.
I think that's server side. I think there's probably tools out there that can help with that.
There's some says best view with Internoid Exploiter. Yeah, I'm able to play it as a model in Gmod if I'm already subscribed to it on Steam Workshop. You can. You'd have to go and get it out of the Steam folder. Steam and Gmod, they're not sharing resources. They're all in their own location. So you could go and copy those resources into the same or equivalent location on Gmod. But at some point, I believe Gmod compressed some of their stuff, and I don't know if it's something you can still just easily jump in and out of. I cannot remember. It's been a while.
Oh, they got new My Little Pony fashion blind bags. These are kind of like the Smash'ems.
We're gonna be careful. This is for that could see through there.
They're $13 a piece. And you only get one Smash toy. That's Target's tripping people off.
They're ripping kids off.
Well, yeah,
So they're ripping parents off, but the kids are still going to yell about it. So the kids are the ones that are going to win.
Not $13. You used to be able to get a whole box of those things for like 30.
Michael, it's just inflation.
Hey, inflation. That's like crazy high inflation.
It's not inflation. That's crazy high inflation.
Well, it's price gouging. They know the demand for ponies is high.
Yeah, that's supply and demand is what you mean. No, they probably are doing some kind of weird gouging crap because that's just the way the market is right now.
I remember handing those out the very first few conventions I went to. I bought like whole boxes of those things and just handed them to people.
Oh, that's not going to be visible.
Actually, I remember the first time I met Draft. He doesn't remember, but I remember the first time I handed him a Rarity Smash 'em store.
Michael, look at Trixie.
It's a good Trixie. I like Trixie.
She's like, can you please move your head so I can see the butt?
He's like, I want to see that butt.
Where's the butt? Applejack won't eat the butt.
I feel like this video is going to get equal amounts of love and hate. They're going to love the video because it's funny, and hate it because you murdered a cute horse.
I am seeing on the, and I expected that as the initial hype has worn down from the Cheez It Dash video, I'm starting to see more and more AI hate comments. The thumbs up and down ratio is still 99.3, so yeah, it's minimal, but yeah, I am seeing more.
Cheez It's Dash.
I was right.
Yeah, you were right.
But there's going to be some
99.3.
Yeah, but I went through before in the comments, and if people sometimes will say something for the purpose of inciting people to react, and I'll just delete them because I don't want, because bronies are susceptible to that. Somebody is going to respond, and then that causes something in the comments to explode, which has happened before.
You know what you need to do? Stop reading the comments. I think.
Well, normally I don't, but the first
warning,
the first couple days of one, people sometimes ask questions, and I like to answer them if I can. So I want to get that, but then after that, I kind of stop reading comments, or not stop going in to look at it anyway. I'll try to catch up sometimes, but yeah.
Wireball. Watch more Pony. Like, okay. What's that Pony?
She kind of gets. She goes very still at the end there, but I think I might wait until I do this scene first.
I feel like she's generally trying to like kick her daughter in the kidney. No.
Okay, so we need.
Get my rope. And give it another 5 years for AI is so integrated into everything that people don't even notice it as anything more than Photoshop.
Yep, that's we're gonna get there.
Gonna be another tool to do things.
I am thinking I can't wait for the hype that is AI to go away, because
Money in the water.
no, it's just the amount of times I hear that phrase when they're using it only because it's a buzzword, not because it actually has meaning in the context they're using it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, I can see some of the computing stuff, like new processors and stuff coming out where they're like AI enabled, where it really just means once the technology's there, they can better process it on site instead of doing it in the cloud. Then I think AI will be much more powerful. If you could do something on site without having a big delay and like sending it to cloud, if it can run all local, but there's nothing right now that does that. Nobody has the software to run that type of stuff.
I'm starting a new business that uses quantum AI blockchain. You best get on it right now.
Yeah, Wireball's right. Blockchain was one of those phrases for a while. It was the buzzword. Throw blockchain in things, and then NFT, and now AI is just, they throw the word AI in things, but really it's like the AI that's in it is no different than any of the automation that you had in there before. You're just using that word. There's no machine learning anything going on there. It's a toaster. It's not an AI toaster. It doesn't, like, it can determine your maximum breadness. No, there's a number. You turn it to it, and that gives you your toastiness.
I
don't need AI for my toaster.
I wanted to go rogue, like HAL 9000.
Or like the one in
Futurama?
No, the big MT.
The big MT.
Where we had a toaster in there?
Yeah, that was angry.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of the Futurama episode where all the robots go rogue and the garbage disposal is like, oh, somebody dropped a shiny ring down here. Better get it in here and reach for it. Let's try to murder people.
I want if processors can start building that stuff in, sure, but the problem is I can see them doing it at the expense of other performance, which then screw that, I don't care. But if it's not done on site, I don't care, and they have to stop using it as a buzzword. I really wish they would just stop calling it AI, because it's not AI. It's the same reason like hacker is what it is
for a while.
Well, no, but hacker just used to mean somebody with good computers, but now it's a completely different definition because it was hijacked.
Yeah.
So AI was hijacked. So now AI, it's none of the stuff we have is artificial intelligence. It's stupid. It's really stupid. It's just literally guessing words. But we'll get there. But then what are you going to call actual intelligence? That's why they're like calling it like GAI or something, or it's general artificial intelligence. Because right now all machine language learning is hyper focused on a specific thing.
Yeah.
Because it does, if you go general, it starts getting confused as hell.
Yeah. Battery powered torches. It's a crazy idea.
The battery powered Fox Flame LED light. Never be unprepared again for your next spontaneous lunch, Bob. Well, I think if you want to really innovate, allow people to just check into a mob. Like, just have an app that you're like, oh, wow, there's a protest going on in downtown. I'm going to check in digitally. And then it's like, checked in. Yeah, I'm a part of the mob now from home. I can watch my Netflix while also being an activist.
I don't know if that's going to be particularly effective.
We're dealing with Zoomers.
You know, give the business a bad Yelp review. That's probably going to be more effective.
Yeah.
People are testing. Start a YouTube channel where you review the restaurants, and that though you've never been to them.
I see something that says, warning, could not import presets. Stream Workshop collection has no items. Yeah, when it comes to the Gmod stuff, I'm not sure, but there's got to be tutorials on there about like what you might need to do. Because I'm not 100% sure. They're the same underneath, but I believe Gmod has all their stuff compressed, so you might need to uncompress the Gmod stuff, shove it in there, and then recompress. There was some issues I had with that. Same thing, like I grabbed all the particles and models out of Dota before they shifted to SFM2 and before they compressed everything. So it was really easy to grab everything from Dota when that happened. But now if I were to try to do that, no, it's impossible. It's on a whole new engine and everything. But even then there was a gap where they compressed it all, and then you'd have to like all extract everything, and yeah. Okay, so don't. At least there's not much. And actually, I can't take him from the other guy there. Is much easier to. Oh, I gotta. Oh, this is actual Applejack. I don't want that. This Applejack. Wait. A little bit of pucker. I probably don't need to worry about as much for these models. I used to always add a little bit of pucker because stretch didn't work so well in the old models. So if I needed to pull the lips back, it didn't look very good. But if you just add a little pucker, you can stretch back by just decreasing the pucker. But I think I've just been doing it lately because I think their mouths are way too wide. I'm just gonna go right to B. It's way too short a time. Maybe. I haven't had anything.
See if it's something.
I think there might be a Castle Danger in there. Hail, if there's nothing that looks light otherwise, I don't think there is. I feel like this needs to get to Puckerland faster. Oh, that actually made it kind of weird. No, that's fine. I'm gonna actually do that.
Either the castle danger or the couple wheel.
Well, I'm not a fan of the mosaic lava or grava. That's fine. I think these are kind of older. I don't know how long if they were cold the whole time. There's no date on them. We had somebody that got laid off from a job that was doing food stuff, and they dropped off a ton of stuff, and they had beers and stuff in there too. And they're like, I don't know how old these are. So I'm like, okay. See something that says, I can see that happening. Hire an Uber to stand in for you while you stay home. Yes. Yeah, you just get somebody to go down and be an activist for you. It's Uber activism. There you go. It actually has a ring to it. All right, this is frustrating. I cannot find a hard copy of The Journal of Friendship by Amy Kenny Rogers for sale. Yeah, I think that was the one I have. That's the one where it's just the sisters writing notes back and forth. And I think the last half is the main six.
There's nothing in there I want. I want to work out after this, and if I drink too much, I won't be able to do it. I already had a big beer. You don't mind, do you? Ooh, the silent treatment. I'll go get a beer.
You're not you. Well, it's just weird when you're like, you know what? I don't want to booze.
Why is it weird?
Because you're the biggest drunk I know.
I'm not a drunk. I'm not an alcoholic. I drink because.
You're like, wait, did you have to correct yourself? Wait, I'm not a drunk. Wait, no, I am a drunk.
I don't need alcohol. I enjoy it when I'm in relax mode, but I have stuff to do after this. If I didn't have anything to do, I would definitely grab another beer.
Okay, so this one's gonna pull back though.
It's the defining line for somebody who enjoys drinking and somebody who needs to drink. I like to think that I am on the enjoys side. I knew some people who were definitely on the need to side. They would show up to work drunk.
Wait. I can hear ch. So I can hear don't be such. I can hear the ch part. But if I go slow,
I feel like I'm making you drink that by yourself. I'll get a drink.
I can't hear the ch. That's weird.
I'll find some.
I just seen there's a book called The Journal of Friendship and the Journal of the Two Sisters. That's the one I have. Okay. I don't know. Maybe because in the Journal of the Two Sisters, the first half or 2/3 of the book is Luna and Celestia going back and forth. But then like the last part of the book is the main six writing stuff. So maybe they're the same thing. I can't hear the ch unless I go fast enough. Okay, then I think that I gotta like redo this. Don't be such. Don't be such. Okay, so this is gonna be. Oh, my dehumidifier just maxed out. I gotta figure out like a good mix for that. A lot of these others, I know the mix. This is one that I don't really know. Maybe a little more. Yeah, a little less frown. I'll go with that. And now we're gonna mix a little bit more grin in here and decrease this to get the mouth closed a little bit. Okay, and the beginning of this needs to be what is that?
Whiskey Coke.
Ah. I was like, where'd you get booze? But yeah, that makes sense. I need a big more caffeine-free Coke. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
I want to. I have some whiskey down here. I want to use, but
The whiskey I have upstairs is that plastic bottle of Jim Beam.
I sell Windsor down here. Yeah, I just haven't.
Beam's fine for me. Oh.
Yeah, but no, I don't want. I still don't want to do any caffeine.
That's a little stronger than I meant. It is Wednesday for you. For the rest of us, we live in the past. The year is 2013. And we're just learning about this pony thing. I hear it's pretty hip. Now, I wish I could get the feeling back from early Phantom Days, because it was basically just a drug. It's still a drug. It's just, I need more of it. So, work faster. This will need piles of ponies. Piles and piles of horse. Is that your foot? Your foot. That was coming from the ceiling above me. Myra. Right above my head. This is my bed. So, yeah, just come crashing through.
What would come crashing through? I'm making a scratching sound.
Just the bed crashing through. Makes scratch noises because it's makes no sense, but that's what would happen. Wait, why is there two of them? Two ponies? Oh, two Applejacks. Because one Applejack wasn't enough. Need two of them.
Because I'm lip syncing one. I don't want to have the if I for some reason screw up in blending something by accidentally including the mouth on the model after when I'm working on animating it, I don't want to lose the lip syncing work because I did it 2 hours ago and I didn't realize it. So I work on it in a separate model, and then I keep that model around until everything's finalized, so that if I do make that booby, I can just copy paste it and fix it. But I don't like smoothing everything unless I can see the lip syncing, because when I'm doing the lip syncing, I am going slower and I'm able to hear exactly when the talking is happening. Where when I'm just hitting play, SFM has a little bit of a delay, and it might make it sound like the sounds are a couple frames different. So if I time it with the way the mouth is moving, I know I'm timing the actions more correctly. So that's also the benefit.
I think the better question is, why is neither of these Applejacks wearing socks? Why does neither of them have a cute bow in their hair?
She's got a little coup bandana.
Ooh, that's cute. I don't know if she ever wears that bandana in the show. Maybe there was.
Yeah, I don't get it, but at the same time, I feel like it probably would have been better if she did, because it is nice.
It is cute. There's no doubt about that. I think
if you could pick one accessory other than socks, okay. Out of all the main six, what is one accessory that you can have? Applejack's hat doesn't count because she already has it. And you can only pick socks for one horse. So it's not for cute. It's like if they were to have an accessory that they would wear all the time.
Rainbow Dash feels like it'd be like a hoodie. She'd be the one to wear the hoodie.
I can see a hoodie, yeah.
Because it's kind of like a workout clothes kind of thing.
Okay.
Only one of them can wear socks. I feel like it should be Fluttershy, but because someone forced her to. She would never wear it on her own volition. Rarity would, but no.
I can see Rarity having a big fancy hat. Or
she wore lots of big fancy hats.
Twilight would definitely have her backpack or something to carry books.
Yeah,
something
saddlebag.
Yeah, it's something with like to put things in.
That's not very imaginative, because that's what she always has.
Yeah, it's called Spike.
Yeah, Spike Kim Garium. Let's see. What would Pinkie Pie wear? She wore a cheerleader outfit at least in one episode, I think. I can't. It's not really an accessory, it's a whole thing. The little workout outfit she wore in that episode was kind of cute. They had cute outfits throughout the show. Applejack's cutest outfit was when she was dressed like a lion for Halloween.
That's not an accessory though.
Yeah, being a lion, it's accessory. It was a onesie. I don't know. It's not like they never wore clothes. The hoodie, it definitely fits Rainbow Dash. That's like a shirt. Actually, Rarity, I just keep imagining her with like smoking a cigarette on one of those super long filters. Like old 50s noir movies did.
Yeah, like Rarity with a purse.
No.
Or a necklace.
You never carry a purse.
She could have a necklace with a big gem on it.
Yeah.
That I can see.
Because she legitimately had that in an episode.
An episode, but we're talking like forever.
A pearl necklace.
What would Pinky have?
Oh.
And like flower stains don't count.
A clown nose.
Just a rolling pin stuck in her hair.
Yeah.
A clown nose.
Yeah, honk it. Tiny booper.
Little squeaky shoes. Like
Bow tie. They give her a bow tie.
okay.
There's a single accessory bow tie.
So what would you get Fluttershy?
Told you, it's the socks. But
Deodorant.
Oh, it's rude.
You've said before that she has to smell bad.
Probably smells.
I can't tell. Oh, W should jump, baby.
There's no way you can just live with birds' nests in your house, crapping all over the place with all the rodents everywhere. I know she hangs out with a ferret, and those things just notoriously smell. She sleeps with a rabbit in her bed, and rabbits shit like constantly.
Oh, W should jump, baby. Oh, W should jump, baby. Oh, W should jump, baby. W should jump, baby.
Okay, so that Applejack is done.
I can't take it, baby. I can't.
Twilight? I think just a pair of glasses.
No, I said the little saddlebag.
Yeah, but she's always got the saddlebag.
Well, pair of glasses, but does she have?
Just side Twilight.
Can she not see?
Her like human version can. Weird that her alicorn version can.
Glitter.
It's Pinky again.
Oh, I don't know what else she would have. She did have the little saddle.
I can.
That made no sense, but
I can think of one for Scootaloo.
flight.
It's just a sign over her head that says, "We'll work for food."
Parents, please.
Parents, please. Obviously, Trixie, I can't imagine AJ in socks. I don't know what, like, gifts Rainbow gives her on their anniversary. Their anniversaries. Will work for parents. He has parents, they just don't love her. It's different. Really, somebody pointed out that Apple Bloom's parents are dead. Sweetie Belle's parents neglect her to where Rarity's more of a parent than her parents are. And Scootaloo's parents are just, they straight up abandoned. Like, they didn't legally abandon her, but I feel like if they didn't leave her in the care of trusted family friends, social services would be down on them so hard. You can't just leave a child in the house and disappear for years on end. You get to keep that child. I mean, the smart thing to do would have her immediately have moved her in with her aunts. But maybe that they didn't feel like it was necessary. I don't know. Also, her aunts did live pretty far outside of town.
Where does she spend most of her time? Like just literally jumping around?
Well, she spends most of her day with the CMC, I guess.
Yeah, but where'd she go to bed?
She in the house.
What house?
The house her parents owned. They owned a house that was in Ponyville.
And she had to maintain it?
The cakes were initially set to watch her and check on her. And then her aunts would come in from town once a week to check on her.
Her parents are the worst.
And then when Rainbow got closer to Scootaloo, she started going in shifts to check on Scootaloo. But Scootaloo was essentially left in the house by herself for when she was home. The cakes would feed Scootaloo.
I can't take it.
No, the Scootaloo's parents definitely should have lost her.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Not even like a maybe.
They just had the town basically watching her. Like they made sure she was taken care of by leaving her in the care of the cakes.
But I think that you can't do that for like, what if she needed something signed at school?
I think the cakes were basically the.
They'd have to be
guardians.
signed guardians.
Yeah.
So something in paperwork, I have to say that they're official guardians. But that also sounds like what her aunts are. So you can't have two groups as your guardian.
Yeah, I don't know. Her aunts lived outside of town, so they could only check on her once a week. The cakes were mostly the ones in charge of her care until.
Yeah, but you never. But if they took care, where does Pinky live?
She lives in the Sugar Corner.
Yeah, so it feels like Pinky and Scootaloo would have been much closer.
Well, to be fair, if you read the comics, Pinky's parents left Pinky as a foal in the care of the cakes. She's been living with them since she was a child.
Those poor cakes.
Yeah, I know. No wonder they had to wait till they were like nearly middle-aged to have their own kids, because they were too busy taking care of everybody else's kid. They seemed all too happy to do it, but geez. No, it seemed like it wrapped up nicely when her parents came back and her aunt showed up and be like, you know what, we're just gonna move in town. We'll be her permanent guardians. 'Cause you guys kind of suck. it's pretty clear you're not.
They
were
horrible.
No, they were. They did a comic separate from the show, the season 10 comics, where they talked about her parents in more depth. And they were just shown to be. They loved Scootaloo, but they had no interest in her interests. They wanted her to enjoy what they enjoyed, and if she didn't, they didn't care.
Yeah, they had no interest in her because they knew nothing about her.
And Scootaloo wasn't too happy with them, but the comic ends with her being, I know that I'm with ponies who care about me, and she was with her aunts in that moment, not her parents. Because her aunts do care about her. The fact that they moved to town to take care of her full time kind of showed that. And probably took a little... Because even when the cakes had their own kids to worry about, they were still worrying about Scootaloo. They had Rainbow Dash helping at that point, but... I mean, geez.
Multiple sets of guardians, it is. Yeah, I don't know how that works, though. I mean, Equestria might be different, but still... I had canon a couple years after season 9. Scootaloo finds out her parents had another foal and they spoil him rotten.
I did want you to make a video. This was a brain idea in my head where they just show up, like, meet your new baby sister, Scootaloo, and then they hand her, and it's like, what's her name? She looks up and her parents are already taking off. And I just wanted the mother to be like, quick, grab on. She can't follow us if we fly. It's the ants watching them take off. One of them goes to curse. Pieces of shit. You can't just drop your kids off here. Thing is, there's probably people like that.
Yeah, and it's like, are you going to be the asshole and be like, well, guess I'm going to go drop you off at the orphanage?
Hey, you just drop them off with their grandmother or something. It's the real life version. Instead of just leaving them in the house by themselves and hope that the neighbors will check on them long enough so that they don't starve to death. Like, I hope her parents at least gave the cakes some sort of financial aid to watch Scootaloo. Like, they weren't just feeding her out of their own coffers. I mean, I could see them doing it because the cakes are amazing.
They have their own business, so I can see that helping, but also that's expensive. And I'm guessing
the pastries they throw out at the end of the day.
Yeah. But certain stuff with school, or if they need help with homework, that's all time.
Mm-hmm. No, they were more, the cakes were more of a parent to Scootaloo than her parents were. Throughout, like, the first half of her life. And during that whole time, they had to deal with the death of one of their Mrs. Cake had to deal with the death of one of her closest friends. All the crap she was brought up. The Cakes had a rough life. Not as rough as some, but certainly, like, for minor characters, you get a lot of, like, backstory for them.
If anybody had it rough, it was Twilight.
What, being born to a family that basically got so many royal privileges?
Yeah, there was definitely some nepotism somewhere in there. What did their parents do?
I don't know. I think they're both retired by the time the show starts.
Because, I mean, the fact that your son married a princess and is the head of the royal guard, and your daughter became, through pure magical talent, also became the head, like the personal student of the princess.
Not only did she become the personal student, she was raised. Her babysitter was an alicorn princess.
Nepotism.
Yeah,
there was definitely
going on.
He had to be like the head of something, but they seem too normal. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know.
They're very nice. They only really show.
Yeah, which means that isn't right, because nothing about what they were raised with, to me, states that they would be that way.
Yeah, the only episode you really see her parents at any great length is the airship episode. But they seem really nice. Like, you kind of get where Twilight gets her personality from, her organization, and her OCD comes from her dad, whereas her adventurous spirit comes from her mom. And her mom's adorable. Like, I'm gonna go over this waterfall in a barrel. Watch me go. So cute. Twilight didn't kill her mom like some people.
What?
You're making the video about it right now.
She's already dead.
She wants to go for walkies.
Oh, she's dead.
Oh. Her eyes is a little messed up, but...
See, she says want to go on the cart.
He's so evil.
She's definitely saying want to go on the cart.
Yes.
Yeah, this is perfect.
And that would make sense. That Twilight's mom was an assassin. A spy.
What is this, like? Was it Spy X Family? Yes. Or something?
It makes sense. They had to have done something. You don't just get an alicorn for your babysitter.
Oh yeah, so are you essentially just doing Spy X Family? I never finished that. I only saw like 2/3 of it. It's a good anime. Well, and Twilight had basically special powers, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. But does that make Shining Armor a dog?
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
I think it was a special dog too. Like he's
a very special dog. They're going to be very sad when he
want some clips of it to fit. Because but if it, yeah, that's exactly what that is. Is the whole premise of Spy X Family is that a guy is a spy that needs he needs to get a child to become friends to go to a school so that because he's an actual spy and needs to weasel his way in somewhere, and he's using the kids to get in. But the kid actually can read minds. So she knows everything about him being a spy, but the mother that he ends up finding for stuff and actually agrees for stuff, and without telling her, ends up actually being a professional assassin, but she can't tell him is that. So he's a spy trying to be sneaky. She's an assassin trying to be sneaky, and this girl can read both their minds. And it's just like, whoa, what's going on here? And it's, and the little girl's really funny. And then the dog, I think, was an experiment or something. So he's a brilliant dog too. Mm-hmm. So like, he's still just a dog. He doesn't talk or anything. Kind of like Ein, yeah.
Ein, yeah.
But yeah, it was just it's a funny series, just for the dynamic. And there's just some like, what, they tried to kidnap the little girl for something, and like the mother goes fucking ape shit because she's actually like really good at her job. And it's
like, you do not take my daughter.
Yeah, hold on. I want to see if I can find that one scene. It's so good. Yeah, it was here. Yeah, he gets kidnapped, but I'll jump to the bit. Oh yeah, she just Just, but just, just goes fucking apeshit him. Oh, she just
Terrified.
she did something to them. Was it?
That one gets.
Oh yeah, where is it? She hits him with the fruit. Yeah, she just whacked him across the head. I forgot there was another one where she literally kicks the guy's ass, but it was so funny.
What do you think you're doing? Papa saved me. Oh, it's when our dad saves her.
Yeah, no, it's so fun. There's like one whole episode where he spends like this huge amount of budget to just build this giant theme park just for her that's based on a spy story, and they're like, why did we authorize this? It was like billions of dollars, but it was so important, and it was ridiculously stupid. It was a fun series.
Yeah, it was good a bit. That was good.
Okay, so they're lip synced, but I think I got a little time to do something.
I can't take him.
I think I'm going to have to add another keyframe to Trixie because it's like a whole second of not moving. Probably going to do...
I see.
Like,
Oh.
it's like, bleh. Like, Trixie, I have peanut butter crackers. What do you want them?
I guess. You know, the funny thing about Final Fantasy VI is I remember Go-Go, and when I realized the only movie he had was Mimic, I thought he was awful. But now that a few years have passed since I played it, I realized, wow, that's actually really good.
Well, it's normally because by that point in the game, you've kind of already established the group that you like using. Mm-hmm. So you probably aren't going to be jumping into using new characters. And he's like one of the 3 characters that really doesn't have a deep backstory.
Yeah.
Like the Yeti doesn't have really deep backstory. The Mog doesn't have a backstory. Like some of them are just, well, they help out and they do little things, but there's not much about them.
They kind of gave Trixie a backstory because you see her early in the game and she's always kind of like around. She's not having any real effect on you, but she's around.
Which is interesting because I don't remember Go-Go being around.
Like when you get on the ghost train, she's there. I think that's where you first meet her.
Oh, yeah, Go-Go wasn't on the train.
Yeah, she was on the train. She was trying to just get treasures, I think.
Okay. Well, that's kind of a fun little neat addition that doesn't really affect much in the game, like the original games, because the character, again, didn't have anything to him. So why not? I think that's actually kind of a fun idea.
Yeah. And I think you fight her on the train, too. So, yeah.
That makes sense because she's a butt.
Yeah. She wants your treasure. And then she tries to fight Maniac or Orthos. Is his actual name in Final Fantasy VI? The octopus guy.
Mm-hmm.
And she loses.
Or Ultros.
Ultros, that's what it is. So she tries to fight Maniac and gets her butt kicked. And that's how she ends up in the cave. You find her. They give her a backstory in the Philly Fantasy.
I mean, Go-Go has something to him, but did you go and find him inside a sandworm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they
just remembered that.
They turned it into the tassel worm.
The what?
The tassel worm from My Little Pony.
Oh.
The thing that almost like that grabbed Cadence and Twilight with tentacles.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to remember where you could go, and then it just clicked. I was like, wait, it was a giant worm. That's why he's a forgettable character, or not a forgettable. He is forgettable to recruit, because if you don't go to the worm.
I found out by random chance. Basically, I've talked to somebody in town, and they said Trixie went to the Triangle Island. Like, oh, the Triangle Island. Looked up, there was an island shaped like a triangle, and
I know exactly what that island is.
Yeah, I went to it, fought the tassel worm. It killed me immediately.
Wow.
And then I realized I wasn't dead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, wow, you dying in that game?
Yes, it happens. That game is tough. I did remember after I quit yesterday that the one character I still do not have is Fluttershy.
Wait, how you not have Fluttershy?
Well, she's Shadow, and you save her in the cave, and I took her to a bed to heal. But then when I went back to the town a little later, they said she went to the arena, so I have to go to the arena and pick her up.
Yep, Fluttershy fighting in the arena.
I thought it was hilarious because Rarity joins the cult of Discord, and she won't listen to you at all. But as soon as she sees Sweetie Belle's not dead, she's like, yeah, you're not dead. Forget this cult. I'm out. And Sweetie Belle just looks at her like, you joined a cult because you thought I was dead? This is dramatic even for you. It's kind of fun. I enjoyed it. Like, this is a little dramatic even for you, or sister.
Jump save.
I think I don't have a favorite character I love to use. There are certainly characters who have less use than others. He wanted Scootaloo to be more useful, but she's not. Apparently, according to guides, Cat Scratch is her best move, but it's really not that good. She's the replacement for the kid. Little wild child.
Rem.
Huh?
Rem.
Was his name Rem? I thought it was like Guru or something.
No, I think Rem is the child.
No, not the artist child. That's Sweetie Belle. The other kid. The wild child.
Oh, that's Gao.
Gao, yeah.
G-A-U.
G-A-U. So, Scootaloo's a replacement for Gao. And I want Scootaloo to be more useful, but Gao's not that useful. Maybe if I got the right monsters, but I looked it up and they said Cat Scratch is the most powerful move. And it's one hit for like... It can do like a quarter of the damage Applejack can do.
Well, they might have redid some things in that version.
They might have, but Scootaloo just kind of feels like a weaker one.
Gao is just about versatility, but he also has the annoying bit of if you want anything useful on him, you gotta toss him into the belt for a while.
Yeah. Maybe I need to take Scootaloo back to the plains and bring her up or something. Worst game. I'm having a lot of fun playing that game. I feel like some people are getting kind of bored of it, but
the story is fun, but if you're spending a lot of your time just doing dungeons and fighting and stuff, yeah, it would get boring very quickly.
Quests.
I really want to go back and play a Final Fantasy.
Keep saying 8 and I would watch it.
But I am stuck between one of the first 3. Just go back super old school, but I don't think that'd be as fun overall. Going back to 6 to do again. I just beat 4 not long ago, but 8 has been the one I kind of want to go and do. But now that I know they're doing that voice acting mod, but there is the voice acting mod, you have to play vanilla, but there is a bunch of others that did some full balance tweaks to the game, so that like, because you know the game is based on like there's no leveling in importance.
Yeah,
they actually made it so that combat is buffed a little bit, and they nerfed GFs so that they're more balanced and not as powerful early game.
I never used them.
The GFs?
I didn't think they were that useful.
You could beat the whole game without fighting. You could just use GFs. No, GFs are awesome.
You just draw tons of magic and then you become so powerful. You don't
that's the thing else that they rebalanced because they made it so that drawing wasn't as required. Yeah, so it's stuff like that.
Annoying. It's like, oh, new magic. I'm going to be here a while.
Yeah, it was stuff like that was really annoying. Plus, then you never wanted to use it.
But you couldn't because then it would weaken you.
Yeah, so like that was what the stupid thing about it. But they fixed some of that. But no, I used to love GFs because you could, or enemies' strength had certain skills they would gain at certain thresholds of levels, and if you just kept at level 10 by the end of the game.
The problem was the second you cast a GF, You had to go put the controller down, go grab a snack.
No, you have to hit the boost button.
Oh yeah,
Remember, you had to hit the button. You can get up to like 250% when you unlock boost.
I do remember that now that you mention it.
I'm a Final Fantasy nerd. They're my Sierra game.
I would rewatch any of the PlayStation Final Fantasies. That was kind of the golden age. I feel like 10 kind of pushed a little bit into that golden age, but then after that, the golden age died, along with Squaresoft.
10 was still good.
Yes.
Like 6 was amazing, 7 was amazing, 8 was good, 9 was great, 10 was great. Then 12 was meh.
Never played it.
I've tried twice.
I've heard.
I own it on Switch if you ever want to try it. No, I tried it. I couldn't. 13.
Which one was Hallway Simulator?
That was Lightning. That was Lightning was in the game, but that was 13.
Yeah.
They had one area that kind of was like the big plains in Final Fantasy X that was a little more open, and they had hunts there, but it was all very bland and the same. 13 wasn't that great. And then they did 2 sequels of that. It wasn't until 15, and 15 is probably my favorite, if not second favorite Final Fantasy. I love 15.
I liked 15. I finished 15. It was the first Final Fantasy I finished since 10. So that's saying something. But when Squaresoft stopped being Squaresoft and became Square Enix, Final Fantasy definitely took a pretty hard blow. I've heard so little about 16. I hear it's okay.
I'm looking forward to being able to play it.
Just play that one.
Because it's not on PC yet.
Right.
No, once Final Fantasy VII's remake and 16 comes out, I kind of hope 16 comes out first. Because I want a new story. I think that'd be fun.
What's cool about 8? The story's crazy convoluted, and Robin Williams.
There's one of the mods that you can get that actually rewrites part of the story. Doesn't change the story, but rewrites it to be less convoluted.
Try to make a little bit more sense out of it. Yeah.
They even added side quests and like created whole side quests and stuff to try to fill in certain areas of the game that got a little long. And like some of the mods are actually kind of neat. Some of them are visual, but not many. They did a remake of the game, but it's actually considered worse because it was like they HDified everything, but they really didn't clean it up. So it just kind of looks like stark and everything contrasted to each other.
When everything used to blend.
Yeah, and I think they also redid the music where a lot of it was good as it was.
Yeah.
But
better not take away eyes on me.
One thing that was interesting was the Balam Garden music for Final Fantasy VIII. There's a group, the Distant Skies or whatever. They're the band that does Final Fantasy music, and they travel and we went and saw them at a concert once, and they Distant Lands, I believe, and apparently the Balam Garden song, the sheet music was lost. Nobody knew where it was, and so they had to painstakingly recreate it.
Just by listening to it. They went to, because Nobuo Uematsu supports them and actually has went to the concerts, and so if they need music, he just gives it to him. He's like, no, actually, we don't have it. I think he could like try to recreate it himself.
Oh, that was years and years ago. No, but I went to a concert and but we've recreated it, and so here you go. So they got to play the original Balam Garden song, which was awesome.
One of the most like jarring moments for me ever was I was in a Chinese restaurant, my favorite restaurant in Kentucky. If you're ever driving through northern Kentucky, hit a dry ridge exit, there's a place called the Happy Dragon. You will not be disappointed.
Yes, the best Chinese food in the world is in Kentucky.
It's a family that moved from like China that live there. It's good. It's good food. Anyway, Happy Dragon, Kentucky, great food. And I was sitting in that restaurant, and one time I was just sitting there eating. My mind was wandering, and all of a sudden I hear the instrumental version of a song, and I'm like, what is this song I'm hearing? And I'm thinking, and then it hit me. It was Eyes on Me from Final Fantasy VIII, but it was just the instrumental, and I'm like, this is Eyes on Me? You can't just play Eyes on Me in a Chinese restaurant. You can't just throw that at me.
I've had that happen before. I remember being at some place once and I just started hearing like a Final Fantasy song. Like, what the hell? Where'd that come from? And just some nerd in the back decided to go hit buttons.
Oh, I think they just put it in the rotation because they're like, this sounds right. It's just, I mean, I was happy to be here and I had a big stupid grin on my face. Like, I know what this is. Made the crab ragoon taste better. That was the same restaurant where I got that fortune cookie that just read your best days are behind you. A fortune cookie I got at the age of like 22. Your best days are behind you. Oh, thanks.
I think it's supposed to be that your worst days are behind you.
No, it said your best days are behind you. And I was like, oh no. I held on to that fortune cookie for a while.
Why?
Because it was funny.
Because it seems like, wow, this seems like a bad omen. I'm going to keep it.
It was hilarious.
Mine says, you will eat a poison fortune cookie.
Oh, no.
There was a comic I loved reading. It was like somebody's like, oh, mine says this. Somebody else says, mine says this. Jeff, what does yours say? And it just says, we know what you did last summer, or we know where you put the body. And he goes, mine says that too.
Oh, fortune cookies are fun when they're clever.
I'm just gonna. Yeah, actually, that helped a little bit. Okay, we got the lip syncing done. We got that a little bit more updated keyframe because I didn't like that she was just standing there. I could make her move, but unless you have the whole body shift a little bit, it seems so copy paste. But this will be in focus here. Oh, did I? No, I don't think I did that. Oh, this isn't even. The focus isn't even set on this one. No, it's not even. Yeah, it's okay. It is on Trixie. I thought it was on either of them. Focal distance.
I'm trying to find a happy in between.
No, Applejack's the one talking at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So you just change the focus.
I can't take him.
Might be too fast.
That restaurant was so good that in my younger years where I just did not care, I'd go there and eat by myself. And it's a weird thing to go into an all-you-can-eat buffet by yourself. It says something about you in that point of your life. But I like their food so much. And it was like $10. This admittedly was like 15 years ago now. The restaurant's still there though. It's still really good. But all you could eat, $10. Like that was with a drink. And it was good food. They had like,
you can say how cheap things are, but everything's went more expensive. So
yeah, but even then that was
your
cheap.
prices are fake news.
I don't think it's much more than it was then. I don't think they raised the price. I think it's like 15 now. And it's cheap.
If the thing is, there's a certain point where it's like, wow, that's cheap, but then it also gets to a point of, what is in this?
It's good food. They're just a privately owned restaurant who doesn't care about corporate profits.
Well, it's not even about corporate profits. You still need to survive. In a small business, you don't have some of the benefits of having a large amount of money being able to spread around for risk. So, I mean,
it's like one family who runs the place.
Yeah. But I mean, if they're just living in a trailer in the back, then, I mean, you're taking advantage of them.
I didn't price the food.
Well, you really need to just give them money.
That place is always packed. I think they do okay.
Anyways, we're going to send you guys. Yeah, so there's Stream Friday because Michael's making me still.
Yes, you have to stream.
But there's no Michael.
I'm going to be in the other room, probably watching movies or something.
So we got to do cute derpy things. Oh, lots of socks.
Yes.
Oops.
You know, I could sneak in here at any point on Friday.
No, I'm locking the door. I can't lock the door, but I can put things in front of it.
Private chair. No, we're doing cute derpy.
You started something on fire.
Just coax you out.
Yeah, so and then I think I don't figure out what game I want to start playing next.
Nothing that I would enjoy.
There's a group game that I want to get into sometime, but I want to go wait for a sale if we're going to be buying multiple copies of it. So I'm going to wait on that. But
I just wish to express my deep wish to do a Satisfactory game at some point.
once it's 1.0, not quite
Not
yet.
yet. Soon. Like,
But we already did Satisfactory.
yeah, when it was, we didn't finish it for one.
We did.
We didn't.
Yeah, we went to last tier.
Yeah, but we didn't do the last tier.
It was just literally farming.
It's not farming. It gets crazy in the last tier.
No, not any, once it goes to 1.0, it won't. They're dumbing the last tier down because it was only difficult because of the fact that it was the last tier and there's nothing after that.
Well, then it shouldn't be a problem finishing it.
Anyways, where can we send you guys? So yeah, I'll have more info later as to what we're going to be doing on Sunday. Okay, so Taylor and Switch, but I think they're just doing their podcast, so we will, and they watch on YouTube.
Metroid.
The original Metroid.
Yeah, I'm like that retro gaming.
Okay, so we can head over to the, well, I don't really care about Switch, I care about the bear. Scruff, he's the best part.
No pony though.
No pony. He does have big pants though. Is that okay?
I mean, it's
So those little classic games.
big shoes. They look like a Bratz doll.
Wow. The one comment too, I think out of anything on the Cheese It Dash video that's been a comment, it's been Starlight.
Yeah, I actually did read some of the comments.
They're like, she's going goblin mode.
It was a good decision to have her just nonsensical.
Was the easiest effort. Actually, there was people who were like, you actually made it so everything that she hits actually was moved. Like that. Like, yeah, detail's my thing, man.
She's just using her head. That, I think, got a lot of attention.
I like the head part.
Not the head part, the flailing limbs part.
Oh, yeah.
I think I read one comment that read, I've been trying to learn drums for years and just watching her, I know I've been doing it wrong.
Thank you to Alex Stuff for the follow and the questions, and thank you to Sunset for moderating. And Sir Edward, I think, was on earlier, too.
Yes.
Somebody banned somebody.
There was a bot. Yeah, butt bots.
Right?
No, not butt bots. They're bots that are butts, but not butt bots.
Bubbles. Okay. Yeah, we made this for the outro, so that's why it exists.
Oh,
But we gotta go, so bye-bye.